welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Welcome back to Lincoln Financial Field here in Philadelphia as the Eagles and the Cleveland Browns get set to kick off their new season here on CBS. A reminder to you, today's game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. It's not a bad day here in Philadelphia. It's a little cooler than when we first hit town. Temperature's about 85 degrees. The forecast is for sunny skies. There's Hugh Jackson. Had 1 year as head coach in Oakland, went 8-8, and that was it for him until he was tapped to become the Cleveland new head coach this year. On the other side of the field, Doug Peterson, a lifer as an assistant coach until the Eagles called and said, we want you as our brand new head football coach here in Philadelphia.
Well, and both head coaches are excited to get this season started like we've talked about in the open. You have a new quarterback in Carson Wentz, and you have Robert Griffin III getting a chance now after not playing a single down a year ago in Washington after having that spectacular rookie year in 2012.
Cleveland won the toss and deferred. So the Philadelphia Eagles have Josh Huff and Wendell Smallwood deep. And this will sail into the end zone. Huff will not run it out. And so here comes Carson Wentz. Hairline fracture of the ribs against Tampa Bay in the preseason. Didn't get any action at all to speak of. And with the trade of Sam Bradford, finds himself the brand new starting quarterback.
Well, and I expect Doug Peterson to let him loose. I don't think that's going to be a very conservative. They may start off with a couple plays just to get him a good feeling, but I think they're going to try and stretch the field. He has a big arm. He has the athleticism, and I don't think Doug Peterson's going to try and hold him back at all today.
We asked Doug Peterson on Friday if he has the entire playbook, and Doug Peterson says not only that, he's put in a couple plays because Carson Wentz likes to run.
And I think if you have to remember Doug Peterson in Kansas City with Alex Smith ran the ball quite a bit. So you can see some of that today as well.
Ryan Matthews in the backfield. Matthews gets the handoff. And Matthews for about 6. Just across the 30-yard line. Eagles weren't sure they'd have right tackle Lane Johnson today being looked at for possible performance-enhancing drugs violations. He plays today, but a possible 10-game suspension looms. And leading the core of receivers is third-year wideout Jordan Matthews, 3 short of 1,000 receiving yards last year and 8 touchdown catches. Kenyon Barner now on to the field and in the backfield. On 2nd and 4. Barner turns the corner and doesn't get much more than a yard or so. That Cleveland defense, the middle man up front in the 3-4 is nose tackle Danny Shelton, last year's first-round draft pick out of Washington. Very young outside linebackers in 4th-round pick Joe Schobert on one side, 2nd-round pick Emmanuel Ogbah from Oklahoma State on the other. And the veteran in the secondary is 7th-year cornerback Joe Hayden on the mend after off-season ankle surgery. Darren Sproles in the backfield on 3rd and 3, and movement on the left side of the line. Our referee today is Walt Anderson.
Neutral zone infraction, number 96, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Xavier Cooper jumped, and that gives the Eagles a first down.
How about that for a rookie quarterback? In his first series, he comes out and like a true vet on 3rd and short, going for a hard count and is able to get the easy first down.
You know, according to you, quarterbacks do everything right, don't they? Every single thing on the field.
You can't second guess yourself. You got to believe in what you're doing and go for it.
From the 37. Wentz to throw for the first time, and that is in and out of the hands of Jordan Matthews.
Well, and the thing I was impressed with there is Carson Wentz. He gave the kill call, and he adjusted it. We could see here with the scouting report, the big arm. We've talked about that. The mobile, more mobile than his size. He's a big kid, but he can still run. Not working through progressions. That's something he really didn't have to do. It's not that he can't do it, He just didn't have to do it at the college level, and lack of experience. We've already mentioned the fact that he only had 24 pass attempts in the preseason because he got injured in that first game.
Eagles dropped 37 passes last year, the most in the National Football League. Wentz lobs this one far side, pulled in, caught by Zach Ertz. Just across midfield and into Cleveland territory for a first down.
Isn't that how it works? The quarterback, you put it right on the money and it gets dropped, and then this time you put it high and outside, the only place your receiver can get it, and Ertz reaches up there one-handed. He's battling with his right arm with the defender Poyer, and being able to bring it in the left arm, you can see he completes the catch and keeps it secure.
14-yard pickup and a first down now at the Cleveland 49. Wentz now under center. Throws this side of the field, complete to Brent Selleck. It's tight end inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line, and that'll be enough for another Philadelphia first down.
What's interesting with the play calling so far, I talked to Ray Horton, the defensive coordinator for the Browns, and he said, what are your expectations with Carson Wentz? I said, I went back. He told me he went back and watched a lot of Andy Reid and Kansas City tape to see what Doug Peterson was going to do, and Doug Peterson now already with a couple of fakes and rollout, the bootleg type actions, getting Carson Wentz outside the pocket, more mobile instead of just staying back in there.
In the 38, this is Barner, and Barner inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line. So nothing extraordinary so far from Carson Wentz, keeping it safe and probably a good way for him to get his feet wet.
It is. It's a good way to keep it, but I don't anticipate this is going to be the entire game. I think they are going to open it up a little bit and let him air it out. You don't want the defense to start sitting on everything, thinking it's all going to be short. So at some point in time, he will take a shot upfield.
Two tight ends on 2nd and 5, and Matthews in the backfield. Going to throw it outside, and that's complete. Good for yardage. Zach Ertz down the sideline. Out of bounds just shy of the 20-yard line. Yard pickup, moves the chains once again.
Ertz coming in motion, just going out into the flat in the corner to that side of the field. Collapses with the slant route on the outside by the receiver and lets Ertz go free in the flat, able to pick up another first down.
See Ertz's numbers from last season. Ryan Matthews, the lone back behind Wentz. Matthews stumbles across the 20 to about the 19-yard line. A huge key for Philadelphia will be if Ryan Matthews is able to stay healthy.
Well, he has to stay healthy. He's proven throughout his career, even his time in San Diego, when he is healthy, he's one of the better backs in the National Football League. It's just he hasn't been able to be consistently healthy throughout an entire season. Now, they were able to rotate some guys. We talked about Darren Sproles in the open, but Barner, they've given the ball to twice already in this opening drive.
It's Darren Sproles, split to the far side. On 2nd and 9. Ninth play of this drive. Went. End zone. Caught. Touchdown. Jordan Matthews. The first touchdown pass of his young career was on the money.
Well, and you've got him right there in the slot. He's just going to run a go route. The outside route by Aguilar is just sitting there. Matthews just running one-on-one in man-to-man coverage. A perfect throw by Carson Wentz over the outside shoulder, away from the defender. Matthews with the touchdown. That's a good way to start off your NFL career, right?
He'll take it.
Oh, that's a nice opening drive.
Caleb Sturgis for the extra point. And it is good. How about Carson Wentz? The only incomplete pass he had on the drive was dropped by Jordan Matthews, who catches the touchdown for a 7-0 Philadelphia lead.
At Southwest, we're trying to decide whether or not to have a sale. Heads we don't, tails we do. And tails it is. Book for as low as $59 one way now at southwest.com. Sure, the game is great. But here's a real reason to scream at your television. Book for as low as $59 one way now at southwest.com.
Let me get that like wow. It's like right now. It's like wow. It's like wow. It's like wow.
This is the new 2017 Acura MDX. And this is how we make it.
I'm Keith Hernandez.
I'm Walt Clyde Frazier.
Hold the show.
That gray beard is a no-go.
In 5 easy minutes, put Just for Men in it.
Here's the kicker, your beard will look thicker.
Guys.
Running for president means staying in a different hotel every night. So I used the Hotels.com rewards program to earn free nights, which I can use for my new friends here.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
You're welcome.
Roger that, sir.
My name isn't Roger.
Supported by Hotels.com. TV's most watched drama
NCIS
is back.
Can't wait.
New faces.
Agent Torres is one of the best undercover ops we got.
Like this guy.
Same family.
There's something hinky in Hinky Town. You never make things easy, do you?
What's the fun there? NCIS season premiere Tuesday, September 20th.
At Vanderbilt, Jordan Matthews had 262 receptions, left Vanderbilt as the SEC's all-time leader in that category. Carson Wentz with his first NFL touchdown in the books. George Atkinson deep for Cleveland, and he will not run this one out. So the Browns will start from the 25-yard line, and we will get our first look in a long time at Robert Griffin III.
Well, this has to be exciting for him after being with Washington last season and not getting one start or any playing time at all, for that matter, after having such a tremendous rookie year, dealing with the knee injury and coming back from that. This is new life for him, and he expressed his excitement for getting this opportunity and getting a chance to work with Hugh Jackson.
Crowell and Malcolm Johnson in the backfield. And he's going to keep it right off the bat and throw, and there is a drop pass on the part of Gary Barnidge. Up front for Cleveland, as he always is, left tackle Joe Thomas. 9 years in the league, 9 Pro Bowls, has never missed a snap. The backs and receivers. And RG3 has some pretty interesting targets in Barnidge, Pryor, and first-round pick Corey Coleman out of Baylor, of whom everyone is talking. This is Isaiah Crowell. And as expected, that Eagle front seven is pretty tough. The 4-3 defense, defensive tackle Fletcher Cox in his 5th NFL year. His 9.5 sacks led the team a year ago. At linebacker, Bradham and Kendricks. Flank second-year middle linebacker Jordan Hicks out of Texas. And one of the leaders on this Philadelphia defense is a good one, strong safety, Malcolm Jenkins. Cloud comes alive on 3rd and 9. Griffin pointing out who to block, and he is bumped out of bounds. Well short of a first down by Jordan Hicks.
Robert Griffin is upset with the officials, thought he was a late hit, and you got to understand when you're outside the box, you're like a running back. So he may hold his arms up and ask for that play, but that's not going to happen. He was hit in the field of play. Philadelphia came out very aggressive on that first series defensively, went to a lot of man-to-man. Pretty much every down they were in man-to-man coverage, keeping 8 guys inside that box.
Darren Sproles, who has 9 career kick returns for touchdowns, on the receiving end of this one. At the 20. Takes a U-turn, comes back this way, and fights his way across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. 8 minutes, 31 seconds remaining to be played here in the first quarter. Eagles with the ball back and lead at 7-0.
At Coors, we lager, filter, and package cold for a cleaner, crisper taste. Because every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
It's Peyton on Sunday morning.
You like football? Yeah. It's DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket. I can watch every Sunday Ticket game live on any device.
Oh, well, I'm retired. I just sit here watching nothing. If I were you, I'd work as long as you can.
Get NFL Sunday Ticket only on DirecTV and watch live football anywhere. Switch today and get a $100 reward card.
Distractions happen, so there's Acura Watch, standard in the new 2017 Acura MDX.
Who's the genius who puts a girl in heels on a subway grate?
Miss Monroe, eat a Snickers.
Why?
You get a little cranky when you're hungry. Better?
Much better.
This scene will never make the cut.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. We remember. AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by the new 2017 Acura MDX, precision-crafted performance.
Welcome back. 8.5 to play in the first quarter. Philadelphia with the ball in a 7-0 lead. And once again, Carson Wentz back at the control. Ryan Matthews. And Matthews for about 4 to the 30. First drive in the NFL was a pretty good one, Trent.
Very impressive for the rookie Carson Wentz. First, the one-handed catch by Ertz down the right sideline. Then flipping out to the other tight end, Selleck, up the left side. And then, of course, the touchdown to Matthews to put him on top 7. Oh, a little handshake there, a little celebration. Glad to see he's having a little fun.
Clearly practiced that as well.
Well, that was the other thing he talked about, Brett Favre, not only being a gunslinger, but he also said Brett Favre liked to have fun on the field, and so he tries to emulate a lot of those same things.
2nd and 6, Wentz with time, running out of time now on the move, and got rid of it. Incomplete far side, being pressured by Carl Nassib, the rookie out of Penn State.
You see the run fake and then the pass protection here. He has plenty of time to get rid of the football. He just doesn't get down to the check down. He had Matthews as a check down to his left. He spent too much time staring down to his right, and he was smart enough to get rid of the ball as the pressure was coming.
So 3rd and 6 now. And once again, number 43, Darren Sproles, onto the field for the Eagles.
Man 5-6. 120. What's your son?
Wentz lobbing this one incomplete. And here comes the flag. Intended for Josh Huff, covered by Tramon Williams, who was victimized from the touchdown pass.
Well, I think they're going to get him on a holding here just because it was thrown earlier than when the ball was in the air.
Prior to the pass, holding number 22, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty and automatic first down.
As you said, Greg, rough start to the day for Tramon Williams, getting beat by Matthews on the touchdown, and you can see that offhand doing a little grab. He wasn't able to get away with it because of the deep official being able to see it.
So a new set of downs at the 35-yard line for the Eagles.
I'd like to see the Browns mix it up here and bring a little bit of pressure. They've been playing mainly zone and only rushing 3 or 4 defenders as opposed to bringing pressure, not making him Carson Wentz uncomfortable.
Wentz. Little flip overthrows Jordan Matthews, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. It's not too late to play NFL Fantasy. Join, draft, and play from anywhere with the all-new mobile app. Sign up free at NFL.com/fantasy.
Did you see that last throw, Greg? Sometimes that's the hardest throw as a quarterback, where you're just trying to flip it out there. You know, you have your normal, I guess, the normal way that you throw, where you're just stepping and throwing. But a lot of times when you have that open guy, you're just trying to do a little flick. You can see there, it just kind of floated away on you.
That's the 3-foot baseline jump shot, isn't it?
That's right.
On 2nd and 10, they'll give it to Matthews, and Matthews booms his way forward to about the 38. So just how jittery do you think young Mr. Wentz was when he came out? He sure didn't look like he had a case of the jitters.
You know, he didn't. Even during warm-ups, he had a smile on his face. He had a good bounce to his step. He was throwing the ball around, and you come out, you know, I'm sure there's some nerves when the national anthem and the flyover, and Vice President Biden was, I mean, there's a lot going on opening day. And to come out that first drive and be able to move it on down the field, 4 or 5 in that first drive, but I think once the game gets started, those things settle down.
3rd and 7, movement, no snap. Let's see who gets the blame.
False start, number 71, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That's Jason Peters, the left tackle.
Watch how the defenders are causing confusion. Look how everybody is standing up. There's nobody down in a stance. So as they're moving around, that's causing confusion. They're trying to do communication and figure out, okay, if this guy goes here and twists here, what's that communication going to be? And it obviously led to the false start.
So now 3rd and 12. And the Eagles need to reach their own 45 for a first down. Quick pass, batted, incomplete. Emmanuel Ogbah, the rookie out of Oklahoma State, getting a hand on it, and that will force the Philadelphia punt.
Emmanuel Ogbah just getting in hand up there, and Carson Wentz realizing that he better get after that ball and try and knock it down if Ogbah can get to it and go the other way. So just has to get up a little bit higher, get a higher release point. Ogbah with the long reach, able to get his hand on it.
Donnie Jones, the veteran punter out of LSU. And Tramon Williams is deep. Nice kick by Jones. Back inside the 15, going to take the Cleveland bounce, and they were not able to save it at the goal line. It goes into the end zone for the touchback. 6 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the first quarter, in which the Eagles lead it by a touchdown.
Americans don't celebrate the good enough canyon. We didn't aim to be second to the moon. Verizon doesn't settle for good enough either. So now we're introducing Verizon LTE Advanced. With 50% faster peak speeds in more than 450 cities coast to coast. So don't settle for an unlimited plan with limits. Switch now and get our best deal. 20 gigs of limitless data with 4 lines for only $160. Welcome to the Next Gen Network.
Sir, they're coming. Build now. Higher. Perfect. Seems that the enemy has hit a bit of a wall.
Mobile Strike. Download and play now. Free from the App Store.
Oh, I want a quarter pounder with cheese. Whether you're a window shopper, a mastermind, or even a play caller, NFL season is here, and so is McDonald's newest McPick 2 lineup. Choose between a quarter pounder with cheese, our newest pick, triple cheeseburger, the 10-piece chicken McNuggets, or the filet of fish. Mix and match or pair up your faves for just $5.
Oh, triple cheeseburger?
Catch your picks for a limited time. Enjoy the choice.
Let me get a McPick 2. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Monday, Cold Bear's got Dr. Phil and Midnight Confessions.
I like to lie down while watching TV so I can use my belly button to hold dip.
All new Monday.
Trent, it was back at Baylor when people started to take notice of Robert Griffin III.
And rightfully so. He winning the Heisman Trophy there last year in 2011. second overall pick to Washington. Goes in, and 2012, you can see that that knee injury there after putting together a tremendous rookie season. Only the 9 wins in the first season, but 5 since then. Not playing at all in 2015 in Washington and getting a fresh start. He has reason to smile being now spread.
He's now spread as a wide receiver, and Terrell Pryor takes the snap. The give is to Crowell, and Crowell out of bounds at about the 21 for a pickup of about a yard. Well, we specifically asked Hugh Jackson if anything fishy was going to happen, and he just kind of winked and said,
He just smiled, gave a sly smile and a wink and said, I didn't come here to lose. So there could be more of that as this game unfolds.
So on 2nd and 9, RG3 back in the shotgun from the 21. Looks one way, looks the other, over the middle, complete, but that's only good for a couple of yards to Crowell out of the backfield. Jordan Hicks there to make the stop.
But I love that, Greg. I love the fact that he came out, his first receiver was to the right. He looked at him, there wasn't anything there. Now that's a legal chop block. The illegal chop block is when you get a high-low. Two offensive linemen going at the defensive lineman at the same time. But Robert Griffin III getting to his third progression on the check down, that showed progress.
And Robert Griffin can really use a first down. Looks this way, and that is complete, but not going to get him his first down to Duke Johnson out of the backfield. And that will bring the punting unit on for the Cleveland Browns again.
Well, I think some of that just goes to what Jim Schwartz is doing defensively. He's mixing things up in that situation. You would think they're going to bring pressure and go man-to-man, so a quick ball to the flat is a good option to go with because you can outflank the defense and get up the sideline, or you can find a matchup in the middle of the field. But that time, changing things up, they bring pressure with only 4 and drop guys into coverage.
Britton Colquitt kicking it away to Sproles. Sproles at his own 17. And here he goes. Midfield. Inside the 45-yard line. Darren Sproles. 7 career punt return touchdowns, 2 career kickoff returns, and came very close to bringing this one back.
Well, special teams coordinator Dave Phipp has to be excited about that. And when you have Darren Sproles back there, you never know what he's going to do or what direction he's going to go, and that's why you tell your guys, just keep blocking, keep on a man, go body on body.
That was
Sproles has been doing that his whole career.
That was a 59-yard punt by Colquitt and a 40-yard return by Darren Sproles. And it sets Carson Wentz in pretty good position at the Cleveland 42. Ryan Matthews, right side, trying to turn the corner, and does, and pulls his way to about the 37, maybe the 36-yard line. Hey, the King of Comedy is back on CBS. Kevin James returns to the place where it all started. Kevin Can Wait premieres Monday, September 19th, after The Big Bang Theory only. CBS.
I do like what Cleveland did defensively there, though, Greg, is they put all the guys at the line of scrimmage. They went to man-to-man coverage. Instead of dropping back in zone, they tried changing it up. The problem is they didn't make the tackle when they had a chance at the line of scrimmage.
Picked up 7 on the play, 2nd and 3. It's Matthews again. And Matthews has the first down and then some to the 30. Demario Davis with the tackle. As we slip inside, 3.5 to play here in the first quarter.
We talked a lot with Joe Thomas, the tackle for the Cleveland Browns, about the matchup of the Browns offensive line against the Eagles defensive line. That was the big matchup coming in today when talking about the two lines. But right now, this offensive line for Philadelphia is putting it to Cleveland. You look at the big bodies that Cleveland has up front, just not able to control the line of scrimmage as well as what Philadelphia is doing right now.
Browns have yet to register a first down. The Eagles have 7. This is Matthews. Matthews trying to stay on his feet, fights his way to the 26-yard line. Christian Kirksey with the tackle. And it'll be 2nd and 6.
Ray Horton trying to change things up. Bringing a safety down to rush off the edge. Trying to mix things up defensively, just not able to make those tackles, allowing the 4-yard gain.
Doug Peterson has sure mixed up the play calling offensively, hasn't he? Spins inside the 25, just barely.
Well, Greg, you talked about Doug Peterson changing things up offensively, and how limited was the playbook going to be with the rookie quarterback? One, not only that didn't have a lot of experience in the preseason, but the one that you just named the starter a few days ago. So it looks like it's been pretty expansive so far. They've gone to a number of different places.
I asked Doug Peterson, how long does Carson Wentz have to prove himself? Does he have a short leash? Does he have the game, or weeks, or months? And he says, we're going to find out what he can do. 3rd and 4. The blitz got to him, and he goes down at about the 30, maybe inside that to the 29. And again, Christian Kirksey in on the play.
Well, safety Derek Kindred's going to be the first one to come through here. You see him shooting to the outside, causing Carson to step up in the pocket.
So the field goal attempt upcoming from Caleb Sturgis. And the snap coming from one of our favorite people, John Dornbos, the long snapper for the Eagles. 46 yards out. And it fades to the right, no good. Sturgis had it long enough, but a little bit too far right. 47 seconds remaining to be played here in the first quarter.
If you can dream it, you can do it. In the all-new Ridgeline from Honda.
Is that iced tea?
Nope, it's lemonade.
Is that iced tea?
Lemonade.
Iced tea?
What's with these people, man? Lemonade. Read the sign. Lemonade. Read it.
Okay.
Delicious.
Iced tea at a lemonade stand? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Marin saved by switching to Geico.
No iced tea. It's lemonade, man.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Bull.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Outback Steakhouse. Bloomin' great.
Welcome back in Philadelphia. This is what you call a real conundrum. Watch the officials under the goalpost. No good? Good. No good? Good.
So we were wondering why there was so much confusion on the field. Now we know.
Griffin from the 36, looking to throw. Throws it out to the far side. And across the 40 to the 43-yard line is Malcolm Johnson.
Little tight end screen. You fake the handoff. You roll out one way, throw back the other. Just trying to move things around. The Browns need to get something going. Not having a very effective first quarter here so far.
First quarter that now has just 20 seconds remaining. is snuffed on the far side by Rodney McLeod. And that's how the first quarter comes to an end here in Philadelphia. It's been really good for that young man, Carson Wentz. Back to Philly after this.
Viagra single packs, so guys with ED can take Viagra when they need it.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension. Your blood pressure could drop to an unsafe level. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra single packs.
What's going on here?
I'm Val, the orange money retirement squirrel from Voya. We're putting away acorns, you know, to show the importance of saving for the future.
So you're sort of like a spokesperson.
More of a spokesmetaphor.
Get organized at Voya.com.
This fall, Kevin James is back on CBS.
I got you a little retirement gift. It's a gyro bowl.
The bowl that won't spill. Let's test this baby out. Give me a scenario where I might spill it.
You're on a fishing boat, having a snack.
Look at that.
And then a huge wave smashes into you.
Oh, nothing! Nothing!
Kevin Can Wait premieres Monday, September 19th.
As we get set for the start of the second quarter, Eagles with a 7-0 lead, and you look at, it's been a really good start for Carson Wentz and not as good as could be for Robert Griffin III. Robert Griffin throwing, that pass is complete, near side, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Gary Barnidge.
Well, it's important to note for Robert Griffin that his 2 incompletions are 2 drops. So he's been accurate with his throws. Barnidge normally sure-handed, having some trouble bringing it in.
Going around the far side and being tripped up. And the Eagle defense jumps up and plays big. That was Duke Johnson.
You can see there's Colquitt there, and Johnson is. We have no punter back in the formation, so just trying to run a sweep to the right. Hugh Jackson said he was going to pull some things out. We didn't know what exactly, but
we didn't know he was going to pull everything.
A fake punt from your own inside your own 40. Trying to get something going for the Browns offensively, and it backfires.
And now Philadelphia takes over at the 35-yard line. Matthews in the backfield. Wentz stands in, wide open, 15, 10, and out of bounds is Jordan Matthews. It'll be first and goal.
Carson Wentz recognizes that he has safety in the middle of the field, so he goes back. He knows he has man-to-man, so he goes back into the shotgun. He was underneath the center. He goes back into shotgun, changes the play, realizes he's got man-to-man, goes to the right thing. The offensive line and the running backs are able to pick up the pressure. Matthews in the slot. Looks like he's running a crossing route. Instead, sticks his foot in the ground for the out route after Aguilar cleared it out on that right sideline. So he's not only doing it with his arm, Greg, he's doing it with his head as well, making recognition with the defense and getting to the right play.
Ryan Matthews in the backfield. Matthews with the handoff. Cuts it back. And just short of the 5-yard line. Demario Davis makes the stop. Your weekend begins here Thursday. The Jets have a run-in with the Buffalo Bills and their old pal, former coach Rex Ryan. Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. Well, it was the Bills who knocked the Jets out of the playoff picture on the last day of the season last year. Jets probably won't be reminded of that at all, will they? Second and goal. Hit at the 5, spins forward to about the 3. Ibrahim Campbell making the stop, and it'll be 3rd and goal.
This would be an impressive stopper. The Browns are able to get one here and force the Eagles to a field goal after giving them such good field position after the fake punt.
I think Hugh Jackson would love for that fake to be not totally harmful. Darren Sproles on the field.
You got Hayden Matthews one-on-one right here at the bottom of your screen.
Going this way, incomplete. And Matthews covered by Joe Hayden. As you said, and the pass was high.
You see that isolation, you know you have one-on-one, and that's the faith that the Browns have in Hayden. They put coverage to the other side of the field. They had man-to-man underneath with a safety helping over the top, and they said, you know what, Joe Hayden, you've got that side of the field. We trust you that you can win that one-on-one.
Here's Sturgis. This one from 22 yards out, and it is good. So he missed the 46-yarder. He converts from 22, and with 12.5 to play in the first half. Eagles stretch their lead to 10-0.
Summer's winding down, but fall's just heating up. Let's rethink the yard and add some easy color. This is what fall can look like now. Get 5 bags of Earthgrow mulch for just $10. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Nobody comes into this house without paying the price. Not here! Not ever!
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Nobody comes into this house without paying the price. Not here, not ever. Well, did you get it?
More people save money by combining their home and auto with State Farm. Here to help life go right. State Farm.
Here at Outback, it's the big steak and crab bash. You get half a pound of sweet snow crab legs, paired with our new tender centre-cut sirloin. Hurry in, the Outback steak and crab bash starts at just $14.99. Bloomin' great.
My name's MacGyver. They're using tools around me to succeed. Get ready for the most inventive agent. Come on, this isn't fair. Of all time. MacGyver series premiere Friday, September 23rd.
You are watching the NFL on CBS.
Back in Philadelphia a few moments before kickoff. Gives us a chance to check in with Jamie Erdahl downstairs. Jamie.
Greg, thanks. With this rookie quarterback, I am on jitter watch for Carson Wentz, and I tell you, I haven't seen anything out of him since he hit this field for warm-ups earlier today. He is in the meetings with Chase Daniels and the quarterback coach of the Philadelphia Eagles those first 3 series, but I got to tell you, before that 4th one just now, he was in the middle of the offensive line meeting, communicating with those guys, and that's something head coach Doug Peterson said about this young quarterback. His confidence is high, and that really resonates throughout this team, and you can see it in his production on the field.
Yeah, Jamie, and you know, Jordan Matthews and Malcolm Jenkins both told us in our production meetings that they've got to rally around this young quarterback. He seems to be doing okay by himself.
He's handling himself well, and he was very complimentary of not only Chase Daniel, but Sam Bradford as well, getting him prepared for this.
That one goes through the end zone. The touchback will bring the ball out to the 25-yard line, and that's where, once again, the Browns will try to jumpstart their offense.
We believe in respect. It brings out our very best.
We respect time. It's the most valuable thing humans possess.
We respect life in all forms.
And believe it should be protected at all costs.
Respect displays the best of who we are. Because respect sees another as worthy of our time.
Introducing Genesis,
In a world scrambling to put itself first.
Respect is a breath of fresh luxury.
I'm Jamie Foxx for Verizon. In the nation's largest independent study by RootMetrics, again, Verizon is the #1 network.
Hi, I'm Jamie Foxx for Sprint.
And I'm Jamie Foxx for T-Mobile.
And we're just as good.
Really? Only Verizon was ranked #1 nationally in data, reliability, text and call, and speed. Yeah. And you're gonna fist pump today? Get out of my sight.
Unlimited isn't a good deal if it's on a cut-rate network. Switch now and get our best deal. 20 gigs and 4 lines for only $160. All on America's best network.
Big move to Monday, big wedding.
Why do people cry at weddings?
They're practicing for what's coming later.
The big season premiere of The Big Bang Theory, CBS Monday, September 19th.
You ever regret being a cop?
I've regretted decisions I've made, but never to be a cop.
Blue Bloods season premiere, September 23rd.
Eagles defensive end Connor Barwin and his Make the World Better Foundation raised $200,000 at their third annual benefit concert this past June. All proceeds from the sold-out concert will go to the foundation's next major park renovation project in Philadelphia. Over the past 3 years, Barwin has raised more than $685,000 for park renovations in this great city. That's called making a difference in the community, isn't it?
You know, it's great to hear stories like that. There's so much attention nationally and through the media about the negative stuff, and there's so much good stuff that players are doing in their own communities.
Let's see what the Browns can accomplish here on first down. Griffin with time, sideline, that is complete, and first down out of bounds across the 35 to Terrell Pryor.
Well, and I think it's important for the Browns, not only Robert Griffin III, but for the Browns to get the wide receivers involved. Prior to this catch, only running backs and fullbacks had caught passes so far in this game. So it's nice to get Terrell Pryor involved here. The coaches, Hugh Jackson, was complimentary about his transition from quarterback now to being a wide receiver. So this isn't a novelty thing. He's a great receiver. That's why we have him starting, or potential to be a great receiver.
First down of the day for the Cleveland Browns. And the slant. Drop at midfield by the rookie, Corey Coleman.
So if you're wondering if that's a legal formation, you shift both tackles to the outside. So there's only 3 on the inside, causing some confusion, causing the defense to spread out. He gets Corey Coleman on a slant route. That's the 3rd drop of the day already for the Browns on offense.
That doesn't help your quarterback.
It doesn't help your quarterback. It definitely doesn't help with the first downs. They need to stay on the field. First quarter, they only had 8 plays.
On 2nd and 10. Griffin on the move, the screen, that's complete. Duke Johnson across midfield and into Philadelphia territory at about the 48-yard line.
Talk about a much-needed first down. Set up perfectly, catching the Eagles in some pressure up the middle. And from the left side, the screen to your right. So calling that screen play away from where the pressure was coming allowed them to seal the edge on Malcolm Jenkins and get to the outside.
Duke Johnson, an exceptional receiver out of the backfield. 61 catches last season. And we have a flag on the field on the near side.
False start, number 11, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And that one's on Pryor, the former quarterback at Ohio State. Converted to wide receiver back in 2015 season. And that's a early move.
See, he's got to know you got to watch the ball. That quarterback gets in you a little bit. You got to watch the ball when you're on the outside.
Good protection. He's going to go deep down the near sideline. It is caught by Pryor. What a catch by Pryor over Nolan Carroll.
Nolan Carroll is in great position on this ball. Terrell Pryor can't get past him. He can't get past him. They're going stride for stride. The difference is Terrell Pryor is 6'4". Maybe gets away with a little bit of right hand push off to come back for that ball. Watch the right hand at the end here. He reaches around, pulls him by, is able to jump over the top and get the catch. Good body control by Pryor coming up with that.
So now Cleveland, 1st and goal at the 9. Crowell And the push gets him to about the 8-yard line, so it'll be a pickup of a yard. Brandon Graham, Bo Allen in on the stop. 2nd and goal.
Well, I don't know if pounding in the middle of that offensive line is going to be the best route here getting into the end zone. I think they're going to have to use some of their speed, use Robert Griffin getting to the outside, use their receivers getting to the outside, trying to get those open spaces. I don't know if with this defensive front of the Eagles, if they'll be able to just pound it through the middle.
Across the end zone, overthrows, incomplete. Andrew Hawkins calling for a flag, which is not forthcoming. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what he was looking for there. Down in the end zone, there's everything is, you know, it's tighter. So he goes to make his cut out to the left. Quick little grab there, but they're not going to call that.
On 3rd and goal, Griffin on the move, looking, throws, goal line, batted down, incomplete, and a penalty flag is thrown. Intended for Duke Johnson, and Malcolm Jenkins was the defender.
Sorry, Greg, I got a little excited there. Malcolm Jenkins got there early. You could see it even from up here. He made contact, knocking the ball away, running through the receiver to knock the ball away. Would be an automatic 1st down at the 1-yard line if it stands, considering the discussion.
Pass interference, number 27, defense. 1st down at the spot of the foul.
It's going to be over to the right side of your screen as Robert Griffin rolls to his right. Watch how he runs through him right at the end there. You can see the contact. Duke Johnson's helmet. Watch Duke Johnson's helmet. You can see by the movement of his helmet. A little hard from there, but
1st and goal.
You could definitely see that he was hit early.
Crowell trying to skirt the left side and does for the touchdown. So a much-needed drive for the Cleveland offense results in the touchdown run by Isaiah Crowell.
Well, and the smartest thing Crowell could have done there was bounce it to the outside. The play called for it to go off tackle. It was supposed to be closer and tighter in. Crowell realizing that that's where everything was bulked up. There was nowhere for him to go. It would have just been a matter of pushing the pile. Used the speed to get around to the outside.
Patrick Murray to kick the extra point. And this time the officials agree. 7 plays, 75 yards, and the Browns are on the board and pull it within 3. It's 10-7 Eagles.
Domino's has a $7.99 Monday through Thursday carryout deal. But if you carried out Friday through Sunday, you might have felt bamboozled. So we're extending the deal to every day and giving people who paid more a little payback. Like the Smith family, who got free pizza for a year. They love pizza. We gave Brad a date with the Noid. You're welcome. And we gave Rajesh a nightlight. Payback. Go to pizzapayback.com for a chance to get yours and carry out large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 now, every day.
We believe in respect. It brings out our very best.
We respect time. It's the most valuable thing humans possess.
We respect life in all forms.
And believe it should be protected at all costs.
Respect displays the best of who we are. Because respect sees another as worthy of our time.
Introducing Genesis. In a world scrambling to put itself first.
Respect is a breath of fresh luxury.
These new Fruit of the Loom breathable underwear are perfect.
They need a name just as perfect.
Cool's Gold.
The Pants Snorkel.
Briefs.
House of Mesh Representatives.
Shiver Me Trousers.
Pantarctica.
Luge. Thank you, Marvin.
Breathable underwear?
Mr. Meshy goes to Windington.
Breezy Fosheezy.
You're a genius. We'll call it Breezy.
No. We're gonna call it New Breathable Underwear by Fruit of the Loom.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Genesis. Take a breath of fresh luxury. Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next-gen network. And by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com.
Back in the city of brotherly love, Josh Huff, Wendell Smallwood are deep for the Eagles. This one's going to be returnable from the goal line at Smallwood. And bumped out of bounds as he crosses the 20-yard line. 9:06 to play in the first half. Eagles with the ball and 3-point lead. And we're coming back to Philadelphia right after this.
Go further. Go faster. Go one better. The Jaguar F-Type. For great offers, visit your local Jaguar retailer today.
Some mountains you climb. Others you knock down. Coors Light. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Well, this here's a load-bearing wall. We'll go ahead and rip that out. It's going to cause a lot of problems. Totally unnecessary, and it triples the budget.
Wouldn't it be great if everyone said what they meant? The City Double Cash Card does. Earn 1% cash back when you buy and 1% as you pay. Double means double.
It's Peyton on Sunday morning.
E-Man.
What up, Peyton?
You know I have DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket. I get every game, every Sunday, all in HD.
Yeah, I know that.
So you want to come over? I'll make nachos.
I can't right now, man. I'm playing.
All right, pencil you in for Tuesday.
Get NFL Sunday Ticket only on DirecTV and watch live football anywhere. Switch today and get a $100 reward card.
No one projected to beat you by 40 this week.
Projections don't mean anything.
Without NFL.com fantasy football, what would friends talk about?
I got a new watch. Doesn't have any numbers, though.
How do you know what time it is?
I use my phone.
It's not too late to play. Sign up for free at NFL.com/fantasy.
Just a reminder, coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, JB and the guys back in New York with all the latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network, all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Look at some of the ladies and gentlemen, first responders, honoring the memory of 9/11. Pressure, got rid of it. Just across the 25-yard line, complete to Nelson Aguilar. Second-year receiver out of Southern Cal. And the first-round pick from a year ago.
Well, and the Eagles, after starting off hot, that'll test your ribs a little bit.
Welcome to the NFL, Mr. Wentz.
We'll see how they expand a little bit under pressure. Looks like he handled it well, popped up fine.
Carson Wentz did suffer a cracked rib on that play in the preseason against Tampa Bay and didn't play another down until today. Matthews to the left side. I asked him if he was going to wear a jacket to protect himself. He said he always does.
Yeah, you know, as a quarterback, everybody wants to make such a big deal about arm strength. How strong is your arm? How strong is your arm? It's so much required with your legs and with your core. So when you have a cracked rib or you have the cartilage injury in the ribs or, you know, an abdominal injury, it makes it that much harder. Not the short throws, but when you really want to put some juice on the football, when you want to throw it down the field, it makes it difficult.
Here's a 3rd and 5.
120! 123! What's up?
Wentz Dodges one, under pressure, underthrows his intended receiver, and that'll bring on the punting unit. Pass intended for Aguilar, and once again, the Cleveland defense stands tall.
Well, and you have to be impressed with the Cleveland defense and the adjustments they've made. Carson Wentz on the opening drive, the touchdown drive, started off 4 of 5. Since then, he's 2 of 7, and he's been under a lot of pressure and taking hits like that.
So Wentz will take a breather. And Tramon Williams back inside his own 30-yard line for the upcoming kick. Floater pushing him way back inside the 10, and it rolls into the end zone for the touchback. 7:35 to play in the first half. Robert Griffin III back onto the field as Cleveland goes on offense once again.
Americans don't celebrate the good enough canyon. We didn't aim to be second to the moon. Verizon doesn't settle for good enough either. So now we're introducing Verizon LTE Advanced, with 50% faster peak speeds in more than 450 cities coast to coast. So don't settle for an unlimited plan with limits. Switch now and get our best deal. 20 gigs of limitless data with 4 lines for only $160. Welcome to the Next Gen Network.
Those who dare drive the world forward. The Cadillac CT6.
How are jurors selected? The answer may surprise you.
I'm Dr. Jason Bull. I'm not a lawyer. I'm an expert in what's called trial science. I studied the jury's behavioral patterns. We know what they're thinking from the beginning. Everything my team learns allows us to assemble a mirror jury that's scary in its predictive efficiency. We'll know what a jury's gonna bring back. We'll know because that's what we do.
Bull premieres CBS Tuesday, September 20th.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. Beer with your team on it. And by AutoTrader. Find your perfect new, used, or certified car on AutoTrader.
As we get set to resume play, 7:35 to play in the first half. Philadelphia with a 3-point lead. And the Browns start from their own 20-yard line. Over the middle, bobbled and grabbed by Terrell Pryor. Looks like he could have had much more if he had grabbed the handle the first time.
Well, and that's a difficult catch there. Where you're a receiver, see where he has to flash. He flashes behind Malcolm, and that ball is coming. You have a different angle here. The ball comes in, and he just passes up Malcolm Jenkins, and all of a sudden the ball's right on top of him. He's able to bring it in.
So now the Browns from the 33. This time RG3 from the shotgun. And he's going to give it to Crowell. And Crowell across the 35. Okay, we've seen a couple of turnarounds here, Trent. Cleveland started slowly, and the Eagles and Carson Wentz started in a hurry. Things have changed around since then.
The momentum definitely has changed, and even though it was unsuccessful, if you go back to the fake punt, it was a bad fake punt. It was designed poorly, and the Eagles were all over it. But ever since that fake punt, yes, the Eagles went down and got the field goal, but that's a win for the defense, holding them to just the field goal. And then the Browns put together a touchdown drive and got Terrell Pryor involved in the offense.
Hey, Cleveland, go on solid.
2nd and 5.
Go, get that. Hurry.
Time running down on RG3 to get the snap off. And that play goes nowhere. Crowell couldn't get started. It looked very confused in the backfield.
Well, there was a lot going on there. Robert Griffin saw something, and he changed the formation. He changed the play completely, and then he had to go to a hurry-up count. So he moves everybody around, and then he goes, hurry, and he gets the guys to the line of scrimmage. Just not enough time on the play clock, and Philadelphia was all over it.
So Duke Johnson's in the backfield now on 3rd and 8. Just a 4-man rush. Throwing out to the near side. That is complete, and that's Johnson. And Johnson gets the first down across the 45 to the 47-yard line.
And you say, why do quarterbacks throw underneath? It's 3rd and whatever it is. Why is the quarterback dumping it off on a short route? Because you're trusting your guy. There's nowhere up the field. The Eagles drop into zone coverage. There's no open lanes down there. You drop it off to your guy underneath, make him miss two defenders and pick up the first down.
Waving. Griffin on the run. Has a first down and more. Inside the 35 and out of bounds. So everything that wasn't working for the Cleveland Browns when they started this game is now working very well.
Well, and this is what Robert Griffin is so good at when a play breaks down because of that speed, that elusiveness. Now he's several years removed from that knee injury and the knee surgery, and he looks like the Robert Griffin of old in terms of his speed and agility.
Straight ahead is Crowell. And he gets it inside the 30 to the 28, brought down by Nigel Bradham.
And Greg, did you notice Robert's face when we were talking to him yesterday and we got going on the Olympics? We started talking about the 200, the 400, the track and field, all the gold medals, Usain Bolt. It was the conversation changed gears a little bit. You could tell he still enjoys that track and field stuff.
Second and 5. They've also been getting some manageable 2nd and 3rd downs to deal with. Quick pop over the middle, popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod.
You see the throw is going out to Robert Griffin's left side, but it's the right side. You're going to watch here in the flat is completely left open. The slant, he tries throwing, but he throws it behind. Can't tell from that angle if it's tipped or not, but the flat was open. See if we have a better look here if it ends up getting tipped. But there wasn't a passing lane with the linebacker in the way. The tip ball resulted in an interception. It was tipped. See Jordan Hicks jump up and get his hand on it.
So now it's the Eagle defense that comes up with the stop. And Wentz gets started from his own 21.
Well, and that play may be out the back end into the end zone if Hicks doesn't get a hand on it because the middle of the field was open. That wasn't a poor read by Robert Griffin. It was just a nice play by Jordan Hicks.
Sproles. For 3 or 4 yards, close to the 25-yard line, and Xavier Cooper, second-year defensive end out of Washington State, making the play.
Well, and initially the reason I pointed out the flat on that interception because that's the side I was looking to. I was looking to you have a flat quick out combination with your tight end up at the top of the screen, and he noticed the isolation one-on-one in the slot. So not a poor read on Robert's part, just a good play by the defender, and now the Eagles trying to swing momentum back their way after we said momentum had swung a little bit towards Cleveland side here in the last few minutes.
3 minutes to play in the first half. Warner, near side. Running room, out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Kenyon Barner is a third-year running back out of Oregon.
You can see Brandon Brooks, 79, get out in open space. He's pulled around there to try and seal the edge. Barner able to pick up that sideline and get the first down. Big man was moving pretty good there, wasn't he, Greg?
Yeah. 17-yard pickup, Philadelphia's longest run today. Ryan Matthews now in the backfield as Doug Peterson continues to rotate his running backs. Matthews gets the handoff. Push forward to about the 42-yard line. And that will probably bring us to the 2-minute warning. So everybody will pause and take a breath as we take a break. here at Lincoln Financial Field. 2 minutes to play. The Eagles with a 10-7 lead on Cleveland.
So, can I see you again?
I'm free on Black Forest Ham Day.
There's a Subway 350 sub of the day to help you remember life's important days.
We got married in June.
On Tuna Day. Every day a different 350 6-inch sub. Every day of the week. Every sub contains no artificial flavors. At just $3.50, it's a great sub at a great price.
Her name is Terry.
She was born on
Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki Day.
The 350 sub of the day. Every day of the week at Subway.
Summer's winding down, but fall's just heating up. Let's rethink the yard and add some easy color. This is what fall can look like now. Get 5 bags of Earthgrow mulch for just $10. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Everyone say that I am too young to do my own thing, but I know they're wrong. You see, Mama not worried and Papa never did. I'm just a little bitty girl like a whole lot of kids doing my own thing. Check me out.
Find your perfect car, or the perfect car for her. Auto Trader, the only car search engine driven by you.
Hyundai presents the better drive of the week. Behind key blocks from tackle Michael Orr and tight end Greg Olsen, Panthers running back Jonathan Stewart sparked a second-quarter drive in last year's NFC Championship game against the Cardinals. The drive was capped off with a Cam Newton touchdown, and the Panthers went on to win the conference title. Brought to you by Hyundai, official sponsor of the NFL. Better drives us.
A CBS exclusive. Original John Bonet case investigators.
She thought she had hung up the phone.
Re-examine the evidence.
We want to use today's technology to nail down what exactly was said and by whom. Oh my God, I recognize that voice.
The case of John Bonet Ramsey. Next Sunday after 60 Minutes.
Quick reminder, the Verizon halftime report coming your way with JB and the gang in New York. Latest scores and highlights and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network, all coming up on the Verizon halftime report. 2nd and 9 for the Eagles at their own 42. Wentz complete across the 45 out to the 48-yard line to Zach Ertz. Each team with all 3 timeouts remaining.
Well, Greg, as we've mentioned several times, Carson Wentz only having that one preseason game to get any kind of experience. So working the 2-minute drill has all been mainly in practice. So this is a good opportunity for him. I like how he's utilizing the middle of the field. He has all 3 timeouts, as you mentioned, and now he's across midfield. So, yes, you want to be in hurry-up, but you're not in panic mode yet where you have to be getting the ball out of bounds.
That quick slant complete to Jordan Matthews, good for a first down now at the Browns' 45. Here comes the blitz. Wentz got rid of it, far side, complete, and it's inside the 35 to the 34 to Nelson Aguilar, and another first down.
Well, and that's just the arm strength right there. You're throwing from the right hash to the left sideline, and he just rips it on a rope.
And the Eagles will use a timeout here to stop the clock with 1:11 to play.
Now that FedEx has helped us simplify our e-commerce, we can focus on bigger issues, like our passive-aggressive environment.
We're not passive-aggressive. Hey. There are no bad suggestions here, no matter how lame they are.
Well said, Anne. I've always admired how you just say what's in your head, without thinking. Very brave.
Good point, Ted. You're living proof that looks aren't everything.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So, FedEx helps simplify our e-commerce business, and this is not a passive-aggressive environment.
I just want to say you guys are doing a great job. What's that supposed to mean?
FedEx, helping small business simplify e-commerce.
Trent Green, Jamie Erdahl, Greg Gumbel here in Philadelphia. 1:11 to play here in the first half. You see Wentz's numbers. He has Darren Sproles in the backfield. And Wentz going to flip it to Sproles with blockers in front of him. 30, 25, 20. That's the first down.
Now you can save your timeouts here. Go up, get to the line of scrimmage. You can even spike it. You've got the first down. You're wasting a lot of time here.
Clock continues to move. Coming up 50 seconds to play. Wentz, good protection. Now starts to move and throws it away out of bounds. Nate Orchard again with a hit.
No receiver on that side, but he was outside the tackle box and able to get it past the line of scrimmage. Tries to break contain and realizes that's probably the third or fourth good hit that he's taken. So if there's any question about how his ribs have healed up,
his ribs will let him know.
I think they've been answered.
40 seconds to play.
180!
Wentz, more good protection and batted down on the near side by Carl Nassib. He is the third-round draft pick out of Penn State.
Sproles coming in, just doing a chip block on Nassib and then trying to release to the flat. Nassib getting up and getting a hand on it.
3rd and 10 with 35 seconds to play.
Well, and it's easy to remember when you're down this close to the end zone and you have this amount of time left on the clock, you want to push the ball into the end zone. You want to keep it to the outside. You have plenty of time in those timeouts. You can still utilize the middle of the field, but now you need to pick up the first down on 3rd and 10.
Coming across the middle, that pass is incomplete, intended for Sproles. And that'll bring the field goal unit on.
Well, they had what they wanted there. They had Sproles one-on-one. Looks like with Kirksey underneath, he catches that ball. He's able to get the first down. You clear out all the receivers. You leave that middle of the field open, and you give that bubble route to the running back where he can go in or out. And
we get a whistle. That doesn't count.
Prior to the snap, Cleveland calls its first charge timeout of the half, 30-second timeout.
So when we come back, Sturgis will attempt a 37-yard field goal.
Josh, don't you have friends coming over?
Yeah, so?
It stinks in here. You've got to wash this whole room.
Are you kidding? Wash it?
Let's wash it with Febreze.
For all the things you can't wash, use Febreze Fabric Refresher.
Whoa.
Hey, Mrs. Walker. Hey, it smells nice in here.
And try pluggable Febreze with up to 4 times the freshness in one refill. Pluggable Febreze and Fabric Refresher. 2 more ways to breathe happy.
Sturgis has missed from 46 yards out, connected from 22, and this one is right down the pipe. So Sturgis, his second field goal of the day, 13-7, and we have 27 seconds left on the clock till the half.
Red 97! Set! Red 97!
Did you say 97?
Yes.
You know, that reminds me of Geico's 97% customer satisfaction rating.
97%?
Helped by Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Oh yeah, baby. Geico's as fast and friendly as it gets.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Well, here's our look at next Sunday, and it's doubleheader action, starting with Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Houston. Trent and I will be in New England as the Patriots host Miami, and then doubleheader games, Indianapolis and Denver. The NFL on CBS and the NFL Today crew. They aren't having any fun, are they? So George Atkinson is deep. Will not get a chance to return this one. So Pistol will come out to the 25-yard line, and so we've seen the turnaround for the Cleveland offense. What is it that it's begun to work for Robert Griffin?
Well, it's getting the wide receivers involved. Terrell Pryor in the second quarter has 3 catches for 68 yards. They're starting to open things up by using that. In the first quarter, the only completions were to the running back. So now with 27 seconds left, you still have 2 timeouts with the ball coming out to the 25-yard line, and you get the ball first in the second half. Now you have some options. You could hit a big 20-yarder in the middle of the field, call a timeout, try and get yourself into field goal range to where you can take that late shot.
Cleveland with 2 timeouts remaining, as do the Eagles, and on the draw, this is Duke Johnson. And Johnson down the sideline and out of bounds. Out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. That'll be a first down.
Or you can anticipate the defense is going to be in cover 2, hand the draw, and try to get it up the middle. So the impressive part of that play, not only Duke Johnson getting to the outside, but the block of Terrell Pryor on the right sideline. Look at as he runs the outside. Watch the outside here. Watch Pryor's block here. Maybe a little grab on that right shoulder pad, but allows Johnson to get up that sideline, get out of bounds.
21 seconds to play. Escapes the pocket, looks, and runs it out of bounds at about the 45. You know, this team, I got a kick out of Hugh Jackson earlier in the week. This team drafted 14 players, 13 are on the roster, and someone brought up the fact that they're young, and he said, I knew we were going to be young. I didn't know we were going to be this young.
Well, not only the guys they have this year, but look at how many draft picks they've accumulated in future years as well. So it's, yeah, it's gonna continue.
27 new players on this Cleveland roster. Incomplete. Johnson out of the backfield. 10 seconds on the clock. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Well, Leotis McKelvin right there was wishing that ball had been tipped up a little bit higher, because he was staring down that end zone with the ball tipped up in the air the way that it was. I think you still have time here with 10 seconds. You can try and get a play in the middle of the field. You can try and get a nice chunk to get into field goal range, and then if it doesn't work, Robert Griffin has the arm strength to throw a Hail Mary.
Dumps it over the middle. This is Crowell, and Crowell looking for the sideline. He didn't get there. He is marked down at about the 44, and they'll call a timeout, but too late. Time runs out here in the first half. See, the officials are checking to make sure that time had expired, and it better have, because the teams are halfway to their locker rooms. Interesting first half for Carson Wentz. And Crowell hitting the ground and rolls out of bounds, but he's going to be marked down inside. That's the difference, and that's why the clock kept moving.
Well, you could see Hugh Jackson is right here, and he thought he had the best view. Let's go down to Jamie.
Coach, it's been a month since we've seen Carson Wentz in action at all. How did he unfold for you in the first half?
Well, he's played really well, you know, obviously, and then we just got to continue to protect him. You know, I can do that with play calls, but, you know, we wanted to come out and run the ball a little bit early, and then we got him settled in. He made a great throw to Jordan for the touchdown. We just got to keep getting back to some of the basics and fundamentals, clean up a few things, detail some stuff, but we'll be all right in the second half.
None of us have seen Robert Griffin III since 2014. Was he what you expected in his return?
He is. He's the same type of athlete. He's very explosive. You can see the deep ball accuracy that he has and the ability to escape and make plays. So, you know, we just got to continue to contain him, get a little more rush on him, and we'll clean this up at halftime.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And thank you, Jamie. And we have come to the end of the first half with the Eagles leading Cleveland 13-7. Back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station.
September 20th.
What do we know?
There's something hinky.
TV's most watched drama
NCIS
is back.
Quinn.
Gibbs.
New faces.
Agent Torres is one of the best undercover ops we got.
Like this guy.
Never been on a team before.
First time for everything.
Same family.
Quit burying the lead. Get to the target. Sorry, caught in the moment.
Someone turned this car into a ticking time bomb.
You never make things easy, do you?
What's the fun in that?
NCIS season premiere Tuesday, September 20th.
Survivor Millennials vs. Gen X premieres CBS Wednesday, September 21st.
What's more exhilarating than playing the new Million in an Instant game with top prizes of $1 million? Winning on the spot. Yeah! Play Million in an Instant from the Pennsylvania Lottery, and you could win on the spot. Keep on scratching.
You feel better about the food on your table when you know the meat is sourced from family farmers and is spiced using handcrafted seasonings. That's why our family is proud to provide the variety you want at your deli, including no antibiotics ever and organic meats. This is what we were founded on. Because at Dietz & Watson, we've always believed in quality above all else.
Dear fellow citizen, I know what it's like to live a full life, but living for today doesn't mean forgetting about tomorrow. Most people spend more time planning their vacation than they do for retirement. But I like to think of retirement like it's a 30-year vacation. So how are you going to get there? Don't worry. It just takes some planning, and I can help. So if you have a question about retirement, ask me. Sincerely, Bernard Tynes, fellow vacationer and fellow citizen.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Stay tuned as we break it all down on the Cure Auto Insurance postgame show right here on CBS 3.
CBS Sports presents the Verizon Halftime Report.
And welcome back to our New York studio and the Verizon Halftime Report. The next generation of wireless is here with Verizon LTE Advanced, powering America's largest and fastest 4G LTE network ever. I'm James Brown, along with my guys. That will be Tony, Coach Bart, and Boomer. Let's get you right to the highlights.
All right, JB, charges out at the Chiefs. Chiefs before the game showing some solidarity by locking arms in this Remembrance 15th anniversary of 9/11. To get you on the field, you're going to see Melvin Gordon run up the middle for his second touchdown of the game. San Diego all over the Chiefs.
All right, the Bengals visiting the Jets. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 2 touchdown passes. Here's the second one. This is the back shoulder throw to Eric Decker. They take a 16-10 lead, but Cincinnati is driving here late in the first half. They are close to the red zone of the Jets.
Buffalo at Baltimore. Joe Flacco is back. The knee is intact, and the arm is never better as he finds Mike Wallace for the 66-yard touchdown pass. Baltimore up 10-7 at the half.
The game you're watching in Philadelphia, Carson Wentz, the second overall selection in the draft. He's starting for the Eagles, and his first touchdown pass is a beauty. He recognizes right now he's got man-to-man. Lost a nice touch, very accurate throw to the slot receiver there, Jordan Matthews. And right now he's 10 of 19 in the first half with 1 touchdown. They lead 13-7.
All right, the Raiders at the Saints, and Drew Brees picking up where he left off last year, signed a big new contract. Here's Brandon Cooks right over the middle, another touchdown pass, the second one of the day for Drew Brees, 17-10 over the Raiders. This is going to be a wild finish. And down in Jacksonville, there's a Jordy Nelson signing. He has a touchdown pass. But how about Blake Bortles, guys? 13 of 19, 187 yards, 1 TD. Did throw an interception early on, but they take it a 17-14 lead.
Yeah, how about Jay Cutler? 10 of 13 in the first half, 156 yards. This touchdown pass right there to Eddie Royal. Off Alshon Jeffries, over 100 yards. They lead 14-10 in Houston.
Minnesota at Tennessee. I bet you never heard this one before. The Woody Boot. Tony as he finds DeMarco Murray for the touchdown catch. Tennessee up 10-0. Upset special.
Never heard of the Woody Boot there, Bart. But the Buccaneers at the Falcons. I used to play for that team. You're going to see a dump-off pass to Sims here. He's going to do the rest, chucking and diving, getting into the end zone for the touchdown. And let's take you out to the game that everybody's watching right now. Carson Wentz, you're going to see he's playing some good football right here. A little surprise that Zach Ertz, good back shoulder throw right here. They're going to see Selleck right here take the dump-off pass. He's showing some poise in the pocket, and this is the highlight that Coach had. Beautiful pass, outside shoulder, over the top. He is having himself a good football game. 10 of 19 right now, does have 1 pick and 1 touchdown.
I can only think of one thing. Cleveland Brown fans sitting at home going, we didn't draft this guy? He wasn't in our top 20? What are we thinking about? It's still early, but he's showing some pretty good play.
It is early. He's looked good, and they've done a good job moving him out of the pocket.
After all that, it's only 7-13. Cleveland still has a shot.
Verizon halftime report continues.
They do.
CBS Sports presents the Verizon Halftime Report. Introducing Verizon LTE Advanced, powering America's largest and fastest 4G LTE network ever.
You lost to Jordy last week?
By 1 point.
I thought I just traded you for Des Bryant.
You serious?
We crushed it last week, buddy.
We.
He hasn't won a game all year.
He got 21 points from his kicker.
Straight up? Straight up?
You scored the touchdowns. I put you in my lineup.
Later to you.
Without NFL.com fantasy football, what would friends talk about?
You, fly often?
Yes.
You a window or an aisle guy?
I'm an aisle guy.
It's not too late to play. Sign up for free at NFL.com/fantasy.
Get the Verizon Halftime Report live online every Sunday. Brought to you by Verizon. Visit cbssports.com/Verizon.
September 20th. It's the season premiere.
Our sniper knew what he was aiming for.
That will have the Big Easy on edge.
Not sure when he's going to strike next.
The only thing that matters is stopping the sniper before anybody else gets hurt.
Get out of here!
The season premiere of NCIS New Orleans, Tuesday, September 20th.
The next generation of wireless is here with Verizon LTE Advanced, powering America's largest and fastest 4G LTE network ever.
Week 2 in the league begins with the premiere of Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network, and it'll feature an AFC East Division rivalry, the Jets and the Bills, as we welcome you back inside of Studio 43 and the Verizon Halftime Report. Time now for our Thursday night preview. Big matchup in the division. Your thoughts?
You know, my thoughts go back to last year, how the Buffalo Bill defense just stifled the offense of the New York Jets twice and made them look bad. And, you know, when you think about Buffalo Bills and you think about Rex Ryan, those defenses and all the different things that they do, if Ryan Fitzpatrick is the quarterback, they sit on all the routes because they don't trust his arm.
I tell you what, this is tough to have a divisional game on a short week in week 2 as you're trying to develop that cohesiveness and get your style of play for the year. This is pivotal because at the end of the year, this is what makes the difference between the tiebreakers and things in position in the playoffs.
And for the Buffalo Bills, no Marcel Darius in this game, serving a 4-game suspension. But sometimes you just wonder if some teams have another team's number. We're going to find out Thursday night.
Yeah, and like it or not, Rex Ryan, it's hard to believe he has an offensive football team. I know the defense can get after it, but he has so many playmakers at all the skill positions. Quarterback is dynamic. I just really like seeing that Rex Ryan now has an offensive team, not really a defensive team, in my opinion.
Wow, that important a matchup in the division this early. All right, folks, the Verizon Halftime Report will continue after this.
Don't miss Kevin James and Kevin Can Wait. Premieres CBS Monday, September 19th.
Right here, this man, an illegal immigrant, is arrested for aggravated assault. Federal authorities attempt to detain him, but as a sanctuary city, Philadelphia refuses, and he's put back on the streets. Then the unthinkable happens.
In a sickening development, he was arrested again late last month, accused of raping a 13-year-old or under child.
Katie McGinty still refuses to support ending Philadelphia's being a designated sanctuary city. How could she? NRSC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
With Simply Right Checking from Santander Bank, just make one deposit, payment, withdrawal, or transfer each month to waive the monthly fee. And there's no minimum balance. You're all right with Simply Right Checking from Santander Bank.
This may look like just a car driving down the road, but the Camry is so much more. It's the product of over $1 million an hour of research and development to enhance its cutting-edge features. We worry about every single detail, so by the time it gets to you, there's nothing left to worry about. Tested, trusted Toyota. Get $2,000 customer cash or 0% APR for 72 months plus $500 finance cash on Camry. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Reports traffic and stops it. Watch Misha mornings.
Hi, I'm Michael Weatherly. Take a look at my new CBS drama, Bull.
If you want to get a jury on your side,
Tell me about her.
you need to get inside their heads.
The women on this jury hate your lawyer.
We're losing.
I like a challenge.
And Bull's the best jury consultant in the business.
We need one juror who takes control of the jury.
How do you know it's her?
How do you not know? I hate lawyers.
Michael Weatherly is Bull, premiering CBS Tuesday, September 20th.
We're back in Philadelphia as we get set for the second half with the Eagles leading the Cleveland Browns 13-7. Let's take a look at the first half highlight presented by DirecTV, and it was Carson Wentz's first touchdown pass in the National Football League. Jordan Matthews on the receiving end. All in all, the young man had a very impressive debut to start with. Greg Gumbel along with Trent Green. What do you expect now moving on to the second half? There's a young man with a world of talent and a little bit of confidence.
Well, I think now that he does have that confidence, he's been able to show that he can move the ball down the field, getting that touchdown pass. I think here in the second half, you're going to see them take the top off a little bit. They're going to let him throw the ball down the field. You keep talking about his big arm. We've talked all week about his big arm, and it's time to see it.
One of the things that we also will look for is Robert Griffin probably continuing to at least make some inroads, because he started slowly, unlike Carson Wentz.
Well, he started getting things going there in the second quarter when he got the wide receivers involved. Terrell Pryor, 3 catches for 68 yards in the second quarter with the big catch down the sideline that set up that scoring drive for them.
Cleveland gets the ball first here in the second half. George Atkinson again will not get a chance to return the football. It will come out to the 25, and we go down to Jamie.
Greg just caught up with Hugh Jackson coming out of the locker room. Very pleased with Robert Griffin III's performance thus far today. Feels like he's making smart decisions. His energy is high, and his communication is strong. Now, on the other side of the ball, Coach also thought their defensive line got after the rookie quarterback just fine in that first half. Wants to keep making him upset once he snaps the ball. And lastly, he said trick plays still to come. He was not deterred by that fake punt.
Can't be all that big a secret when you tell our reporter about it. Lots of time for Robert Griffin. He's going to go deep. Triple cover, and the catch is made inside the 25-yard line. Inside the 20 is the rookie Corey Coleman. How does that happen?
You know, that's just not understanding the football and getting it. So you're going to see just a shot down the field. They'll end up being 3 defensive backs right in the area of where the ball is caught, and none of them turn around to locate the football.
58 yards on the pickup. Crowell. Let's go back and take a look.
We actually have a clear out here, and then they're going to come running over the top. But what's the number of defenders? There are 3 defenders right there, and none of them locate the football. The only one that locates it is Coleman, and he comes back and gets the big catch.
2nd and 10. From the 17. Griffin looking left, throwing left. It is incomplete. Intended for Pryor. So it'll be 3rd and 10.
1-on-1 on the outside. Terrell Pryor does a double move to get into the end zone. Just a little bit too far as we look at the quarterback comparison here. Very similar in terms of completion yardage.
Numbers, and now here's a big 3rd down for Robert Griffin.
Well, and the interception for Robert was on that tip ball.
he had to call a timeout. So Cleveland uses a timeout right off the bat here in the second half. Robert Griffin III, meanwhile, has completions of 44 and 8 yards today.
Here we take a look at some of his plays from the first half. Long pass down the left sideline that Terrell Pryor comes up with, and showing his mobility. First the juke, and then the speed to get down the sideline, and then of course that interception I just got done talking about, the tip ball by Jordan Hicks, getting the ball in the air just so Rodney McLeod could come up and make the interception.
3rd and 10.
We got Coleman one-on-one here at the top of the screen on McKelvin.
He's looking left, still looking left, throwing, has a man open and overthrew him. That was Andrew Hawkins. Andrew Hawkins looked to have about a step and a half on his man.
Well, Andrew Hawkins was in the slot to Griffin's left, and on the outside was Terrell Pryor running a slant route. Hawkins goes up and just does a hitch and go. So he hitches and then spins to the outside and up the sideline. Robert Griffin just putting too much on the football.
And now Patrick Murray. From 35 yards out. And that kick on its way is good. 13:57 to play, 3rd quarter. Another 3 on the board for the Browns. 13-10 Eagles.
At Southwest, we're trying to decide whether or not to have a sale. Heads we don't, tails we do. And tails it is. Book for as low as $59 one way now at southwest.com. Sure, the game is great. But here's a real reason to scream at your television. Book for as low as $59 one way now at southwest.com.
I enlisted in the Army in 2005. I went to Iraq 3 times and Afghanistan once. She's the culprit that ripped our door off. 2,000-pound animal bumping into a steel door creates quite a bit of damage. Actually use the app, take pictures of it right there for USAA, and they take care of the rest. USAA is great about working with both active and separated military. I'm Josh Eilers, and I'm a USAA member for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Back in Philadelphia, Cleveland field goal has pulled the Browns to within 3. And they are restarting everything on the field. It's been one of those days, and it's only the first one for these two clubs. All right, we're ready to go. Josh Huff, Wendell Smallwood deep. And this will be a touchback and not be returned. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. So it's the rookie Carson Wentz once again, and you know I know Trent, you've been keeping an eye on him because you like to see if the game and the stage are too big for a rookie. It doesn't appear to be for him, at least not so far.
Yeah, it seems like he's handled everything well from the mental standpoint. He's done several times today where he's checked out of plays at the line of scrimmage. I know sometimes with Doug Peterson's offense, they'll call 2 plays at the line of scrimmage. He'll check to the opposite one, but there also have been occasions where he's changed formation and done a big picture change, which shows me that he understands what's going going on in terms of their playbook.
He'll start in the shotgun. And he will give it to Ryan Matthews. And not much there. Carl Nassib making the stop for the Browns. And it'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, and you have to give credit to the Cleveland defense as well. They've made some adjustments. That first drive, Carson Wentz started off 4 of 5, and since then he's 6 of 14. So the percentage has dropped, and he hasn't been able to get to the end zone since that first drive.
Wentz to throw. Short one over the middle, incomplete. And it'll be 3rd and 9.
I've said it from the beginning, and I'll keep saying it throughout this game. You've got to, at some point in time, let this big arm go and throw one over the top. He thought he was just going to get a miscommunication there with Josh Huff. He thought Huff was just going to sit in the hole, and Huff started moving to his left, and just not on the same page. But at some point in time, I'd like to see him stretch the field, whether they complete it or not, just to take the top off of it and throw it up there. Now, this isn't the situation, 3rd and long, but I'd still like to see it at some point.
Penalty flies. And the pass over the middle and caught close to midfield. Diving catch made by Jordan Matthews, but you got to figure this one may be coming back.
Well, I initially thought the tackle moved, but they would have stopped the play if that was the case.
Offside, number 33, defense. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a completed pass, 1st down.
Jordan Poyer is called for the offside.
Yeah, look, it looks like Johnson moves first here, but they're going to get Poyer with being jumping it too soon. So I don't know if he was in the neutral zone or what, but it appeared from up here that Johnson moved a little bit early, and Carson Wentz right there stepping into it and firing that crossing route.
Well, you know,
that's a tight window.
The penalty flag was thrown from the offensive backfield, so there's no way that official could see encroachment.
Right.
Sproles across midfield to the 48.
I'm just glad, Greg, that it went all the way into the 3rd quarter before I said Carson Palmer. That was good.
God knows you said it enough in rehearsal.
I was like, oh, I know I'm going to say it, so I've been sticking to it.
Because if he's playing here, who's playing in Arizona?
Right. Pretty good down the field. You can see 3 of 3 for 69 yards on throws over 10 yards. So we want to do a few more of those.
Wentz. Crossing pattern. Complete. Inside the 45 to the 43 is Zach Ertz.
Late flag comes down in the middle of the field.
This looks like this is going to be against Philadelphia. Here's Walt Anderson.
Pass interference, number 87. Offense, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That one's on Selleck.
They're going to get Selleck for, here he is coming off the screen. Watch the contact he makes as Ertz comes underneath. That's a pretty obvious call. He puts his shoulder into him right here. He's putting his shoulder into him, driving him. You got to play that off a little bit better. You can turn and put your hands up or something, but you put a forearm in his neck, they got no choice but to call it.
So it's 2nd and 16. Wentz to the outside, and it's incomplete. Intended for Sproles.
Been some good and bad for Carson Palmer and Carson Wentz in the first half here. I got twice of them now all of a sudden. So get some completions, moving the ball around, takes a big hit as he's trying to get rid of the ball. There have been several times the touchdown to Matthews, gets a little excited. That's the opening drive of the game. As we mentioned, he's taken quite a few hits to test out those ribs, and he's been able to hold up so far.
Well, I bet the coaches would love to know that all the drops are getting out of their system in the first game of the season. 3rd and 16. And Wentz over the middle. That's not going to get the first down. That's to Ertz. And the ball will go over to Cleveland on the punt.
And I know that's not an exciting play, but that's the smart play. Understand where you are on the field. You have a punter that can pin them down inside the 10. Don't try pushing it up too far upfield. Take the underneath throw, see if you can't get a missed tackle, and this time you're just settling for the punt.
Tremont Williams back inside his 10-yard line as Donald Jones will kick it away. This one short. Fair catch called for and made at about the 15-yard line. So with 10:54 to play in the third quarter, Cleveland gets the ball back, trailing by 3.
Now that FedEx has helped us simplify our e-commerce, we can focus on bigger issues, like our passive-aggressive environment.
We're not passive-aggressive. Hey. There are no bad suggestions here, no matter how lame they are.
Well said, Anne. I've always admired how you just say what's in your head, without thinking. Very brave.
Good point, Ted. You're living proof that looks aren't everything.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So, FedEx helps simplify our e-commerce business, and this is not a passive-aggressive environment.
I just want to say you guys are doing a great job. What's that supposed to mean?
FedEx, helping small business simplify e-commerce.
Heart rate 156.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. We remember. State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. And by the Lincoln Motor Company and the exhilarating new Lincoln MKZ.
Well, you come to this city, you don't dare order anything other than a cheesesteak, do you?
That looks good right about now, doesn't it?
Well, right about any time. From the 15, back snap into the end zone. And out for the safety. Not sure if that was so high that Robert Griffin couldn't handle it or if he wasn't expecting it. No, it was just high.
Yeah, that went right over his head. Cameron Irving, second-year center, sails it. Not the part of the field. You know, here Cleveland was feeling good about themselves. They got the ball first coming out after the half. They got the field goal to get this thing within a field goal. Got the defensive stop, forced them to punt. Then all of a sudden the safety, and now you got to give the, after the safety, you got to give the ball right back to Philadelphia.
So now it's 15-10. Philadelphia, 10:49 to play. And the Eagles get the ball.
This is where the veteran leadership of Robert Griffin has to step up. You have to get everybody to calm down offensively. Say, listen, we had the ball, one possession. Coming out in the second half, we're able to move down, get in the scoring range, and get the field goal. Yes, this is a bad play, but just communicate with your guys. Just talk with your guys. And a lot of football left, so you just got to keep everybody in the right frame of mind.
You know, it's interesting you say that because remember we asked Robert about when he came in, is it something that he went out to try to prove to people? And he basically said, no, I kept my mouth shut and just tried to show that hard work gets it done. And Joe Thomas echoed that same thought.
Yeah, I was impressed with that, what his answer was. You know, everybody had preconceived notions of what Robert Griffin was going to be like just because of all the thing that's out there publicly. And so he knew that. He knew it was out there. He's aware. And he just wanted to, he made it the point to us that I just want to keep my mouth shut, come in and work hard. And you can see the guys responded to it. They voted him a captain.
Colquitt kicks it away. And all the way back to the 7-yard line is Darren Sproles. And it's hooked and brought down at about the 27-yard line. Tackle made by Don Jones. Tuesdays this fall, NCIS's Michael Weatherly returns to CBS in the new legal drama Bull, premiering Tuesday, September the 20th, only CBS. You a big NCIS guy?
You know, I've watched it a few times. I don't get around to watch a lot of TV. With the kids, I'm always running from activity to activity, and so not a ton of it. I am a big Survivor watcher, though. Survivor on CBS is my go-to show. So I've been a junkie of Survivor for a long time.
See, I went through a phase a couple of years ago. I wanted to be an NCIS agent during the offseason. But I got over it. The fake to Matthews. Wentz going to go deep down the field and incomplete.
Well, there's the throw down the field that I've been looking for all game, and I want to take another look at this because it looks to me like Joe Hayden gets away with either a hold or a pass interference once the ball's in the air. See him right there. He's got a hold of that left arm. That's a good no call. There's some contact between the two of them, but there's a hook on that left arm. But
Joe Hayden with off-season ankle surgery says he's just about back to 100%. And he's one of the good ones.
Yes, he is. And it was he came in and had a good meeting with us yesterday, telling us about Robert Griffin coming in and just the overall attitude Hugh Jackson's brought in.
To the outside, that is complete to Dorial Green Beckham. His first catch of the day came over in the trade from Tennessee. So it'll be a 3rd and 1 now for Carson Wentz. 13 of 25, 165 yards in that first quarter touchdown pass.
You got everybody thinking this is going to be an inside run, trying to get the first down, but with the trips formation down here to the bottom of the screen, well, now they move Selleck in motion.
Pitch for Matthews. With blockers in front of him, has the first down, ducks inside, or across the 40 to the 41, maybe the 42-yard line.
They get the defense thinking you're going to run to the right in that bunch formation, tight bunch formation to the right, but then they motion Selleck over, and that's the direction they're going, and Matthews is able to pick up the first down.
Doug Peterson, his days in Kansas City, kind of likes to think of what he has here in Philadelphia is similar on offense. Wentz rolls, open in the middle of the field, and caught across midfield is Jordan Matthews.
Nassib not biting. He gets upfield. He's going to be dragging right here. He stays upfield, but Wentz with the accurate throw across the field to Matthews.
Matthews dropped the first pass of the day. He's now 5 catches for 89 yards and a touchdown. Smallwood in the backfield. Smallwood with the handoff to about the 45. You know, Doug Peterson is one of those guys. Started 9 games before the rookie Donovan McNabb took over for the Eagles back in '99. The following year, Peterson started 8 games for guess who? Cleveland Browns. All of the 17 career starts, either with the Eagles or the Browns. A 3-14 career record as a starting quarterback.
Imagine that. The Cleveland highlight had some snow spitting down as he was getting ready to go on the field. So Doug transitioning from a player over to being a coach, jumped on Andy Reid's staff. Years with him in Philadelphia and Kansas City, and now getting an opportunity to be a head coach.
Wentz on 2nd and 9, throw it outside. And once again, Green Beckham on the receiving end. You know, we asked Hugh Jackson about what kind of pressure are you feeling in Cleveland. the Cavaliers are kind of front and center, and the Cleveland Indians are front and center this year. And I said, "Are you feeling?" He goes, "No, that's an uplifting thing."
Yes, he welcomed it. He thought it was great. He wants all the sports to do well. He wants to lift up the city, and he's excited about the challenge of trying to get the Browns going in the right direction.
Third and 4. Carson Wentz with time and dropped once again by Jordan Matthews. Talked about those Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron leading the way to the 2016 NBA championship, and the Cleveland Indians rolling along in first place in the American League Central Division. Meanwhile, Doug Peterson has decided that he's going to go for it on 4th and 4. You like this call?
I do like this call. Let's. I think they're going to try and go hard count, see if they can't get an easy first down. But I don't think it's one of those trick deals. I think they're going to run a play.
Wentz, quick pass over the middle. It's complete, very close to the first down marker. And it appears that he would have it. That's to Zach Ertz.
And you think this is an easy job playing quarterback in the National Football League? You have Kirksey coming free right up the middle. You've got to step in and make a throw, make an accurate throw, put it in position to where the defender can't knock it down. Poyer's all over it, but because of the location of the pass and the willingness of Wentz to stand in the pocket and take the hit, the Eagles end up with the first down.
First down now at the Cleveland 35. Wentz going to go for it all down the side. It is caught for the touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, the second-year wideout from Southern Cal. And a beautifully placed ball by Carson Wentz.
And this is just going to be right down the sideline over the outside shoulder. Carson Wentz, after taking the shot on 4th down, he comes right back, puts it up the field over the outside shoulder. The only way that it's going to be caught is by his receiver. Defense doesn't have a chance. You put a ball that accurate up the field.
Second touchdown pass of the day by the rookie from North Dakota State. Extra point is good. We asked Carson Wentz, he's going to have family here today. He said, "You betcha." I think they're having a good time.
Americans don't celebrate the good enough canyon. We didn't aim to be second to the moon. Verizon doesn't settle for good enough either. So now we're introducing Verizon LTE Advanced. With 50% faster peak speeds in more than 450 cities coast to coast. So don't settle for an unlimited plan with limits. Switch now and get our best deal. 20 gigs of limitless data with 4 lines for only $160. Welcome to the Next Gen network.
Get ready for the most inventive agent of all time.
My man's saving the world in style.
MacGyver, series premiere Friday, September 23rd.
Well, after the safety, Carson Wentz takes his team down and throws his second touchdown pass of the day. It's a 22-10 lead for the Philadelphia Eagles. I I'd say so far so good for the rookie.
You know, and I can't tell you how impressed I am after taking that big hit on 4th down. When the sideline calls a pass play after taking a hit like that, a lot of times you look to the sideline like, did you not just see me get the crud knocked out of me? It's like, why are we throwing a pass play? Let me hand it off and catch my breath a little bit. But he stepped back the very next play, went deep, and went the perfect throw for the touchdown.
George Atkinson in the end zone, not going to bring it out. So they'll start from the 25. We'll take a timeout with 6:17 to play in the third. And RG3 looking to make some magic.
Marco Polo! Marco Polo! Marco Polo! Marco Polo! Marco
Sì.
Marco Polo!
Scusa, ma io sono Marco Polo, ma...
Playing Marco Polo with Marco Polo? Surprising.
Ragazzini, io sono Marco Polo. Sì, sono qui.
What's not surprising? How much money Amanda and Keith saved by switching to Geico.
Ah, Polo? Polo?
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Polo?
This is the house of the passionate. This is the house of the brave. And this is the house of their beer. Casa Modelo, home of the clean, crisp taste of Especial and the rich, smooth flavor of Negra. Quality beers since 1925.
People that haven't played this sport, they don't quite understand what it's all about.
I want you to go like a bunch of crazed dogs.
A season with Florida State football. New season. Only on Showtime. Start your free trial now.
Don't miss the NCIS season premiere, CBS Tuesday, September 20th.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx, helping small businesses simplify e-commerce. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Welcome back to Philadelphia. Cleveland from its own 25-yard line. And RG3 in the shotgun. Going to hand it off to Crowell, and Crowell with some running room fights his way out to the 35-yard line. That should be enough for another first down. So here are the numbers on Robert Griffin and Carson Wentz.
Well, Carson Wentz started off hot and then cooled down a little bit. Now all of a sudden he's picked up the heat a little bit and gotten pretty hot. It's going to be important here for Robert Griffin in this Cleveland offense to get something going. You have to remember, just a couple minutes ago, this game was 13-10, and then the snap over Robert's head for a safety and the 9 points that followed for the Eagles. So this is an important drive for the Browns.
Griffin under pressure and goes down. Big number 91, Fletcher Cox.
Sack number 1 for the Eagles today. Only rushing 4. Able to get good pressure. Griffin keeping his eyes up the field, but things just collapsed in front of him.
Yeah, we talked specifically with Joe Thomas last night about that offensive line. He was feeling pretty good about it.
There's Jim Schwartz, defensive coordinator for Philadelphia. Felt really good about the guys he had up front, and it showed on that play.
And penalty marker flies. It appears that the play clock expired before the snap.
Well, from where the flag was thrown, it's on the far sideline.
Offside, number 75, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
Wow, they completely ignored the play clock.
Vinny Curry was in at defensive end. He's going to be the one that gets a quick jump.
But I'm pretty sure the play clock expired long before he jumped.
Well, that's the back official. That's his job before the snap hits because he's looking back there for pass interference and those kinds of things. So his job is to keep an eye on that play clock. And when the flag was thrown on the far side, he had to realize it was something else.
Griffin with time. Lobbing at this side, incomplete, overthrows his intended receiver prior. Here's that play on which the Eagles were called offside. 0, +1, +2, +3. Wow.
You're all over that, Greg. That was 0 for a long time.
Hey, I can't do much, but I can read the clock. 3rd and 13. Just got the snap off. Far side of the field, complete, but short of the first down. Coleman with the catch.
Don't be surprised if the Browns don't go for it here. As they run the punting unit on, right? They're just a couple yards short. They brought a lot of pressure from the left side. They tried to overload the left side, drop out into coverage on the right side. Not able to get to Griffin in time, but keeping them short of the sticks.
Britton Colquitt to kick it to Darren Sproles. Always an adventure when number 43 is on the receiving end. At the 15. Dodges one tackle. And then hit as he crosses the 20, about the 21. And with 3:24 to play in the third, 22-10 Eagles.
Nobody comes into this house without paying the price.
Not here! Not ever!
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Nobody comes into this house without paying the price. Not here, not ever.
Well, did you get it?
More people save money by combining their home and auto with State Farm. Here to help life go right. State Farm.
NFL season is here, and so is McDonald's newest McPick 2 lineup. Choose between a Quarter Pounder with cheese, our newest pick, Triple Cheeseburger, the 10-piece Chicken McNuggets, or the Filet of Fish. Mix and match or pair up your faves for just $5. Enjoy the choice.
Survivor returns with a culture war for the ages.
That's my generation.
Which side are you on?
This is unprecedented.
It's millennials.
Still in high school.
Are we going naked?
Versus Gen X.
We're going to teach them a lesson. We're at each other's throats right in the beginning.
All new Survivor begins Wednesday, September 21st.
Well, we always ask as we reconvene, how did we spend our summer vacation? Where were you?
I was at a North Carolina football camp and ran into Brad Johnson, Super Bowl winning quarterback from Tampa Bay, and a couple other teams. And our sons were MVPs for our respective divisions. You see how I'm continuing to talk?
Yeah. Here's the weird thing. At our seminar, we have all these quarterbacks on staff. Jamie Erdahl came up the winner. How'd that happen?
You know, did you notice how I kept talking? I wanted to talk right through Jamie winning that quarterback competition. I'm proud of her. She showed up. And hey, and the thing they didn't show is you did that in heels.
I did.
That was the impressive
thing. I went to quarterback camp too, obviously, Trent, through a mean spiral. I just didn't go to the same camp as your son.
That's
right.
But
now that is fodder for 17 weeks of me beating you at something.
What is up?
To the 35-yard line, Zach Ertz. We were talking with Carson Wentz, and we asked him about how he's established rapport with any of his receivers, and he says particularly with Jordan Matthews and Zach Ertz.
Well, it showed up today. He's been dialed in. Ertz now with the 6th reception. Matthews with 5 receptions. Those are the 2 leading receivers for the Eagles right now. So he told us the truth. He told which guys he was dialed in with. It was good.
This is Ryan Matthews, and Matthews tiptoeing on the sideline.
We were busy throwing footballs, and look what our colleague was doing. Look at that.
Waging my own personal war on the yellowfin tuna.
I like that. Where was that? Where exactly was that?
That would be off the coast of St. Martin.
Nice.
I'm working steadfastly on my tan, too. 2nd and 3. This is Kenyon Barner. Running room. Inside the 45, inside the 40. And it's a first down for the Eagles.
Watch this side of the line. The blocking that goes on. He's not touched until he's 10, 15 yards down the field.
Yeah, you get the impression that the Eagles offense now beginning to pick and choose what it wants to do at will.
Well, and Jason Peters and Alan Barber on that side of the offensive line really created a huge lane there to run through.
Sproles turns the corner. Had some running room and couldn't stay in bounds.
One more time going to the left side of the line. We talked about Peters and Barber on the previous play. That time Brent Selleck was on the left edge as well. So just getting around that outside, getting the contain, and Sproles picking up nice chunky yardage.
You know, I suppose it's a legitimate question to ask that with you and Phil Simms and Dan Fouts and Rich Gannon on our announcing staff, Jamie Erdahl out threw you all.
She did. She did. It was a very accurate throw on her part.
Lost the football. And Sproles covered it again back at the 41, or they're going to mark it down inside the 40 at the 39.
See where the ball comes in here. Ball ends up being a little bit high up on the chest plate as opposed to being down in the stomach. It's one you think that Sproles should get.
Well, Sproles is a little lower than average.
Yes, and that's a very real thing as a quarterback. You have to make sure you get it in the pocket for the running back.
So it's a 3rd and 10 now for the Eagles.
What's up? Here we go. Lucy!
Wentz with a pump fake, and then has to eat it back at the 43-yard line. Carl Nassib in on the quarterback as we hit the end of the 3rd quarter. The Eagles in charge, and we're back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Original John Benet investigators.
She thought she had hung up the phone.
Today's technology.
Let's hear what Nicer Dex. I recognize that voice.
The CBS primetime exclusive next Sunday.
Don't miss the MacGyver series premiere, CBS Friday, September 23rd.
Big oil polluters, they have a friend in Pennsylvania. Millionaire Pat Toomey. Toomey voted to protect their special tax breaks, saving oil companies $24 billion. And big oil polluters have given Toomey $700,000 in campaign contributions. Tax breaks for them, campaign contributions for him. Pat Toomey, he's helping big oil polluters and millionaires, not the rest of us. LCV Victory Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Maestros lead with confidence, exactness, inspiration. At GMC, we're in tune with that degree of precision. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the GMC Acadia. The next generation SUV has arrived. Now current lessees switch to GMC and get this low mileage lease on this 2017 Acadia SLE1 for around $299 per month. GMC, we are professional grade.
It's here, Avalon Flooring's Mohawk Anniversary Sale. Great discounts on all types of Mohawk carpet to spruce up your home. And now, our best prices of the year on Mohawk Smart Strand Forever Clean Silk. The only carpet with permanent built-in stain and soil protection that won't wear or wash off. Stop by our showroom for the largest selection of styles and colors, with full professional installation service. And now, with no interest till 2019. Avalon Flooring, your partner in home design. Visit avalonflooring.com for more details.
Stay tuned as we break it all down on the Cure Auto Insurance postgame show right here on CBS 3.
Along with Trent Green, Jamie Erdahl, our producer Jim Rickoff, our director Suzanne Smith, Greg Gumbel back in Philadelphia as we start the fourth quarter. The Eagles with a 22-10 lead. And McKitt is going to be allowed to bounce inside the 10, and the Eagles are going to bring it to a stop at the 1. Chris Maragos, Jalen Watkins making the special teams play.
It's one of those backward spinning punts that guys around the league are getting so good at dropping in there. Donnie Jones with the punt on that one.
Hey, your weekend starts here Thursday. The Jets have a run-in with the Buffalo Bills. Their former coach, old pal Rex Ryan. That's Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. Leotis McKelvin, it's been a relatively injury-free game. Leotis McKelvin, however, the Eagles say has a hamstring problem. So he is sidelined for the time being. Ron Brooks, fifth-year cornerback out of LSU, replaces him on the field as the Browns start this drive about as deep as you can get. And throwing out of the end zone is RG3 for a couple. Malcolm Johnson with the reception. We get an update from New York. JB and Boomer.
Osweiler has a weapon here. He sure does, and it's Will Fuller, the rookie out of Notre Dame. They said he was quick. Look how quick he really is. Texans lead 20-10. That's an 18-yard reception from Fuller. 20-14, excuse me. Texans over the Bears.
So Greg is working with two quarterbacks, huh? Trent Green and Jamie Erdahl, huh?
I don't need to hear it from you too, JB. Come on now.
This one coming deep down this sideline. It is overthrown, incomplete. Intended for the rookie, Corey Coleman.
Well, you can see they're going after Ron Brooks there. We just mentioned the fact that he's in playing corner with McKelvin out with the injury. Trying to take the shot up that right sideline. Not able to connect, making a 3rd and long, coming out your own end zone.
You know, I so want to ask Jamie what she would do here on 3rd down.
Whatever it is, she'd complete it, right?
3rd and 7.
That's right.
Sidearms it out of there, incomplete. Good pressure by the Eagle defense on Griffin in the end zone, and now Britton Colquitt will have to kick it out of the back part of the end zone.
The pocket just collapsing. Nowhere really, even if Griffin wanted to bail out one way or another, there was nowhere to get around to the outside, and stepping up there was nowhere. So smart decision just throwing it away.
Colquitt to kick to Sproles. Sproles on the run, made the fair catch. 48-yard line. 13:49 to play in the 4th. The Eagles with the lead.
I'm free like a bird. We all want to be as free as the birds. I know one day. But maybe the birds want to be as free as us. Introducing the newest member of the family, the Fiat 124 Spider. I'm free like a bird. More fun than flying.
With over 1 billion color combinations, you'll wonder where the screen ends and life begins. The clearest, most vivid picture we've ever created. This is TV, the SUHD TV from Samsung.
I see gold in the air, in the promise in the streams. I see love in our heart.
When the sun goes down, the limes go in.
Hey, buddy, you here for the tickets?
Yeah.
Wait.
Coach Shin.
What were you thinking? You've got to get your tickets on NFL Ticket Exchange. NFL Ticket Exchange, 100% verified, authentic tickets.
You are watching the NFL on CBS.
A reminder, Week 1 continues later today on Fox, and then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tune in tomorrow for a Monday Night Football doubleheader on ESPN. We remind you, too, the Subway postgame show comes your way. JB and the gang, all the latest scores and highlights, all coming up on the Subway postgame show. RG3 trying to figure it out with Pep Hamilton on the sideline.
Well, and ever since that opening drive of the second half, they've kind of stalled. They had the snap out of the end zone that was the safety, and since then they haven't gotten a lot going offensively. So as the fourth quarter gets rolling here, they're going to need to piece something together. But first thing is they have to get the defense needs to get them the ball back.
Great field position for Carson Wentz, too. This is Ryan Matthews, and Matthews for Huffle, and we get a late flag.
Holding, number 65, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's right tackle Lane Johnson.
Johnson right there, 65. They get called on the hold. Looks like he had that left hand up around John Hughes' jersey or shoulder pads there, pulled him down.
Third time today the Eagles begin a drive in Browns territory. On 1st and 20, begin with Matthews again, and Matthews across the 45 to about the 46-yard line. Carl Nassib, who has played himself a pretty good game on defense.
We've mentioned his name quite a few times today. Matthews putting together a decent day here, 15 carries, 50 yards. Running a combination with Barner. We talked about at the top a combination of he and Sproles. Sproles only with 9 yards rushing. Barner coming in with 42 yards rushing on the day so far.
Second and 18, little pump fake by Wentz, and Wentz is going to tuck it and run. And head for the sideline and out of bounds just over the 45-yard line. Boy, they're in the update mode. Back in New York, JB and Boomer. We will hold off on Boomer and JB for the moment. 3rd and 17.
Big third down here for the Cleveland defense. Needing to get the ball back for the offense as this fourth quarter clock continues to wind down.
Yeah, we're coming up on 12 minutes remaining here in regulation. Wins. Got rid of it to Sproles. Sproles, midfield. And down at about the 45 of the Cleveland Browns, and that will force the kick.
Sproles not realizing how far he had to go to get the first down, trying to split all three defenders. Great camera angle there to see what's going on and what he was looking at.
And we have a Cleveland Brown down on the far side of the field at about the 26-yard line.
Looks like it could be Joe Hayden over there, 23.
It is Joe Hayden, yeah. Joe Hayden was all smiles last night, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was exciting to see, and
brand new papa.
Exactly. He talked about getting the call. He was out at walkthrough, and hey, you got to get to the hospital. And that was on Friday.
Yep. And he wasn't the only one. Demario Davis and his wife, Pamela, welcomed a daughter, Summer Joy Davis. Joe and his wife Sarah welcomed a boy, Joseph Ali Hayden IV. Now this is Demario and Pamela Davis's daughter, Summer Joy.
And she was 4:30 in the morning. So Demario had a little different sleep pattern than what Joe had, because Joe was 5:30 at night. So that was one exciting time for those two.
Congrats to them. And this time the Eagles can't keep it from going into the end zone for the touchback. 11:33 to play, fourth quarter. Time for the Browns to get something started on offense.
I'm Jamie Foxx for Verizon. In the nation's largest independent study by Root Metrics, again, Verizon is the #1 network.
Hi, I'm Jamie Foxx for Sprint. And I'm Jamie Foxx for T-Mobile. And we're just as good.
Really? Only Verizon was ranked #1 nationally in data, reliability, text and call, and speed. Yeah. And you're gonna fist pump to that? Get out of my sight.
Unlimited isn't a good deal if it's on a cut-rate network. Switch now and get our best deal. 20 gigs and 4 lines for only $160. All on America's best network.
I'm like a sponge for this stuff. I can learn it, get it, sell it. I can do this job in my sleep better than some people can do awake. I just want to make sure this brain stays in hyperdrive.
Hey, we hear you. That's why AARP created Staying Sharp. It's more than brain games. It's a personalized 360 approach to brain health with assessments and tools that can help you keep your brain sharp. If you don't think this is right for me when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Get to know us at aarp.org/possibilities.
They say a lot of things about rain. Like how hard it's gonna fall. The things it does to your parade. We've got a saying about rain, too. When it rains, it roars. The all-wheel drive lineup from Dodge. Domestic, not domesticated. Now get 20% off MSRP cash allowance on select 2016 Dodge Journey models in dealer stock. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next-gen network. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Welcome back. Here is RG3 and the Browns from their own 20-yard line. Throwing to the near side, and that's incomplete. Intended for Terrell Pryor. Meanwhile, some injury reports now from the Cleveland sideline. Both rookie safety Derek Kindred and the veteran cornerback Joe Hayden, whom we saw being tended to, suffering ankle injuries. And unfortunately, the Browns say it's to the same ankle on which Hayden underwent surgery this summer. And he's not looking happy.
No, he doesn't look real happy. Number one, the way the game's going. Number two, he's dealing with this ankle injury, and he is questionable to return. So it'd help him a lot if the offense could get something going, give him a little time to rest it up.
Deep drop this time and hit from behind. Connor Barwin.
Connor Barwin just beating Joe Thomas around that left side. Robert Griffin holding on to that ball quite a bit, trying to get a deep throw up the field. So you have to hold on to it a long time. 1, 2. On that second hitch, though, Barwin able to get a swipe in there, almost knocking the ball loose.
So now Robert Griffin has faced a ton of these today. 3rd and 19. Going to give it to Duke Johnson. And Johnson with a little running room, but across the 20, out to about the 21, 22-yard line, but not nearly enough for a first down.
You can tell the body language right now between the two sidelines. It's frustration for the Cleveland Browns at this point in time of the game. You can see it on Robert's face as well.
Darren Sproles has been a busy guy here. Punt return today. This way gets a huge block and is run out of bounds short of the 30-yard line. He'll be marked out at about the 28, 29 20-yard line. Isaiah Crowell made that hit.
These are hands. They're not necessary to open the sliding doors on the all-new Chrysler Pacifica. You know, traverse also means wander, like your equipment is wandering down the driveway.
Current owners or lessees of FCA or competitive vehicles finance and get $2,000 total cash allowance on the all-new Chrysler Pacifica.
I don't know where I'm going, but I sure know where I've been. Made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. Here I go again on my own. Going down the only road I've ever known.
I overpack, but my guy knows what to bring. Like Viagra single packs for ED.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension. Your blood pressure could drop to an unsafe level. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra single packs.
5 Big Brother house guests remain. Boom! Who will prevail in a slippery battle for power?
But sometimes you gotta risk it to get the biscuit.
New Big Brother, CBS tonight.
Big move to Monday, big wedding.
Why do people cry at weddings?
They're practicing for what's coming later.
The big season premiere of The Big Bang Theory, CBS Monday, September 19th.
Might be the stat of the game right there. Time of possession that the Philadelphia Eagles are enjoying.
Well, a lot of that's in the second half.
Not too late to play NFL Fantasy, by the way. Join, draft, and play from anywhere with the all-new mobile app. Sign up free at NFL.com/fantasy. And a quick slant by Carson Wentz to Jordan Matthews.
Good news for Browns fans is Joe Hayden's back in the game. Didn't look to be favoring that ankle at all.
Kind of tested him right away, didn't they? You aware of that when you're a quarterback?
Oh, yes.
You are.
Oh, yes, you definitely are. It's a matter if you know that if you know there's a new guy in the game, if you know there's someone you can attack. You know, when Ron Brooks came in for the Eagles, it was something they went after right away. You know, within the second snap of him being in there.
This is Matthews, and Matthews grinding out the hard yardage, brought down once again by Carl Nassib. But that's a first down for Philadelphia and goes a long way towards what the Eagles want to do now for the rest of the quarter, and it's taking some time off the clock.
They do. They want to just continue to chip away at that clock and use up as much as they can. Tell their runners to stay in bounds. On your passing game, you don't want to be too risky. No reason to cause a turnover at this juncture. Give life to the Browns at this point. On the other hand, the Browns have to take some chances. They have to try getting the ball back.
Matthews again. And dragged down from behind by Xavier Cooper. Hey, the wait is almost over. Be there when the Big Bang Theory kicks off with a star-studded premiere that will have everybody talking. It all happens Monday, September the 19th only. CBS. So 2nd and 6, and looks like Ryan Matthews gets a well-deserved rest. Sproles in the backfield along with Carson Wentz. Lost the ball, picked it up, got rid of it, and almost completed it on the far side of the field. Joe Hayden broke it up, intended for Jordan Matthews.
That would have been so fitting of this day so far, Greg, if he had somehow completed that. Picks it up off the ground, about to take a hit. You can see where that delay helped because it was open. But because of that delay in the throw, it gave Hayden time to recover and knock it away.
So those are Carson's numbers on 3rd down. He needs 6 yards here for a first down. Got time, throwing, and the catch is made by Matthews. Oh, what a catch, just inside the 25-yard line. And what a throw by Carson Wentz.
Well, and even going back to the last play, it just shows the composure that he has. He wasn't frazzled by the fact that the ball was loose. Incredible catch by Matthews, not allowing the ball to hit the ground. Wentz just completely focused on what's going on down the field. You could see how his eyes were looking to the right. That's where he wanted to throw the football. He just wanted to confirm there wasn't a zone out in front, and then he goes back and locates the receiver. So confirmation of what he thought he was going to see, and then going through and getting the execution and the great catch by Matthews.
This is Sproles, and Sproles is going to be stacked up by 4 or 5 Cleveland Browns. Clock continues to move, coming up on 6.5 to play in regulation. Robert Griffin III and Andrew Luck. Last time a quarterback threw for 300+ yards in his first NFL start.
Well, I don't know how many more chances he's going to get with the way the score is. He's got 271, so he's put together an impressive day. 21 of 35, 271, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions is the important one.
And he had time running down on the play clock, so he uses a timeout here with 6:08 to play in the 4th.
You know, I go back to that play on 2nd down a few plays ago that the snap was errant and he kept composure, picked the ball up through it. Yes, it was knocked away by Hayden. But talking to him and realizing throughout this whole process, he said, you know, I haven't been overwhelmed by any of this. Yes, I know to the outside public and to everybody on the outside, it seems like here I am, North Dakota State. I'm coming in. I didn't play a lot. Got hurt in the preseason. And he goes, but I've just kept going with the mental reps. He was very complimentary of Chase Daniel, very complimentary of Sam Bradford and the time that they put in to help him understand the offense. It was just really impressive, and I thought it carried over. It's carried over onto the field today. You can see the composure he's kept throughout this whole game.
I'm not sure I've heard the term mental reps before, but you can see it with him.
Yes.
2nd and 13. Quick pass, popped up in the air and grabbed by one of the Eagles, Nelson Aguilar. Little turnover in the making, avoided.
Yeah, if you're a Browns fan right now, you're just shaking your head because this is one of those that could easily be a pick six the other direction when you throw that sidearm screen pass into a crowd and it tips up in the air. But that's the kind of day so far it's been for the Eagles, and right to Aguilar for a game.
You know, you're right, Trent. It might be an indicator that it's your day. 5.5 to play. And well, here's a flag on the far side of the field, and let's see if there's a little preliminary movement by the Eagles.
False start, number 11, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Penalties on Wentz.
They got him with the little head bob there. They got him with the shoulder roll, the head bob, something. See, the first game, we're not going to let you get away with that. We're not.
Don't get cocky.
Right. It took Peyton Manning and Tom Brady a lot of years to be able to get those calls, right?
That's some early movement, and that's Jason Peters.
False start, number 71, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Let's go back to the penalty call on Wentz.
2 plays ago, Carson Wentz is going to get called with movement, so let's just take an eye on what it is he does.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see a whole lot out of that. Looked like you had Nassib leaning over on that edge, but.
So now it's a 3rd and 16. And Wentz over the middle, had it batted back down into his face.
I know it's hard to believe, but there's always the chance that they could have said the wrong number as well. See the 4-man rush by the Browns, and just getting a hand up to knock it down is Joe Schobert.
Impressive start to the career of Carson Wentz. Tremont Williams is deep. See what Tommy Jones does with this one. They're going to let it bounce. And it takes an Eagles bounce, and it will be down before it gets to the end zone. Never got there. It's all Eagles, 22-10.
Is that iced tea?
Nope, it's lemonade.
Is that iced tea?
Lemonade.
Iced tea?
What's with these people, man? Lemonade. Read the sign. Lemonade. Read it.
Okay.
Delicious.
Iced tea at a lemonade stand? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Marin saved by switching to Geico.
Iced tea. It's lemonade, man.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Fall. It's not just the end of summer. At the Home Depot, it's the start of something new. A chance to rethink the backyard and take the party outside. The fall color you always loved, it's as easy as drop and decorate. Move over summer, we have a new favorite season. This is what fall can look like now. Get lasting color with Earth Grow Mulch. 5 bags for just $10. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Are you tired of interacting with other people in the car? Well, thanks to the Uconnect Theater, you don't have to.
Want to do all your video games right from here?
Nope.
Current owners or lessees of FCA or competitive vehicles finance and get $2,000 total cash allowance on the all-new Chrysler Pacifica.
Don't miss Michael Weatherly in Bull, premiering CBS September 20th.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new Chrysler Pacifica, imported from Detroit, and by Subway Restaurants.
.426 to play here in the 4th quarter. And once again, the Browns start in a deep hole back at their own 8-yard line. Griffin running out of time, lost the ball, recovered it, but inside his own 5-yard line. Brandon Graham, number 55.
Griffin tries to step up into the pocket, doesn't have it secured with both hands. It gets chopped out as the Browns are going to a hurry up here.
3rd Eagles sack of the day of Robert Griffin. From the end zone, pushed it out of the end zone and almost intercepted at the 3.
Boy, this defensive front is getting after it right now. They know the Browns have to throw the ball to try and get back in this game. So it's like a track meet up there by those defensive front 4 trying to get back to Robert Griffin III.
This isn't fun right now for RG3. 3rd and 14.
Another 3rd and long.
Griffin up the middle. 10. And out of bounds at about the 15-yard line, and that's a huge collision on the near sideline. Jalen Mills, the rookie cornerback out of LSU.
Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down. You see the thumbs up that Robert gave right there, so getting some communication through the headset. Steps up and tries to get into that left sideline.
So 4th down at the 15. They need 3 yards for a first down to keep this thing going. Thrown to the outside, too high, couldn't be handled by Andrew Hawkins, and the ball will go over on downs.
And I don't know if he got hit again or if that's just the effects of the previous hit on 3rd down. He's hanging that left arm pretty low.
That left arm is really hanging.
Just throwing a quick out to the left. Oh no, he didn't get hit. No. That's some effects of the previous play. So whether it's the left ribs.
It's Robert Griffin's story today. Sacked 3 times, hurried 9 times, and knocked down 6 times. And here's that collision with Jalen Mills.
So it looks like the hit was more to the left chest, left ribs area, not necessarily that shoulder, but he went to throw. Winced in pain after the throw to the left and didn't get touched on 4th down.
So this is Matthews, and Matthews inside the 10 to about the 8.5-yard line. Ryan Matthews has quietly put together a pretty decent day.
It's been solid all day. 18 carries, 69 yards. Hasn't broken off any big chunks of runs or big long runs, but he's been very consistent throughout the entire day.
They continue to look at RG3 on the sideline. Meanwhile, 2nd and 3.
What's up? Kill!
Matthews again. Matthews inside the 5 and diving to the 1.
He tries sneaking through here, working that right side.
Boy, a healthy Ryan Matthews can be nothing but good news for this Philadelphia offense. And one of the best things that could happen to Carson Wentz.
I was going to say, that's a nice compliment to have if you're a rookie quarterback, to have the balance of the run game and not have it all on your shoulders to push the ball down the field through the air. So good combination today for the Eagles.
1st and goal. Matthews hit at the 2, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. The Philadelphia Eagles 2 minutes away from opening the 2016 season with a W.
The search for better is one of our greatest traits as humans. It's a new commitment.
You're in.
A bold move.
You're in.
Even a fresh start. This appetite for better is everywhere. In people, communities, and also at Subway. Every day, we're finding new ways to serve fresh, locally sourced produce and food free of artificial preservatives whenever and wherever possible. Because the best way to stay fresh is to never get stale.
Hey, Jesse.
Who are you?
I'm Vern, the Orange Money Retirement Rabbit from Voya. Orange Money represents the money you put away for retirement. Over time, your money could multiply.
Hello, all of you.
Get organized at Voya.com.
Every journey starts somewhere. Have the power of a 395 horsepower Hemi V8 to finish it. With America's longest lasting pickups, you always hit the ground running. And with a coil link rear suspension, keep the ground from hitting back, so you can cover a whole lot more of it. Get the power of lasting performance now during Ram Power Days. Get 20% off MSRP cash allowance for an average of $10,314 in savings on select Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab models in dealer stock.
I think I got a concussion from football.
You play Madden football.
He's gotta be
huge letdown after me, right?
I gotta be honest, neither of you knocked it out of the park. I know everything that goes on in this family.
Sarah just got suspended and Jack started seeing the school therapist for anxiety.
Oof, I didn't know that.
As we welcome you back, we remind you Week 1 continues later today on Fox, then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC. Tune in tomorrow for a Monday Night Football doubleheader on ESPN. 22-10, Philadelphia in the lead with 2 minutes to play. And the second half has belonged to the Philadelphia Eagles. Josh McCown, number 13, was just warming up. And it would appear Robert Griffin III would be done for the day. On second and goal, Matthews. Matthews pushing just short of the goal line. Trent, I think they feel at this point Ryan Matthews deserves a touchdown before the game is over.
Well, and that's like, you're trying to say with 2 minutes left, if it was a first down, you could just take a knee and run it out. But because the way the clock is working, they're going to continue to try and run plays. That time they had 94, Bo Allen, defensive tackle, in at fullback. He's back in again, once again, lead blocking for Matthews.
Matthews didn't get there, but we have a penalty marker down on the far side of the field. And that stops the clock at 1:16 to play.
Offside, number 44, defense. Lined up in the neutral zone, half the distance to the goal. It's still third down.
That kind of shows when it goes sideways, doesn't it? A reminder, coming up on the Subway postgame show, JB and the guys back in New York with all the latest NFL scores and highlights, all coming up on the Subway postgame show.
Well, I've watched Bo Allen 2 plays in a row, Greg, just to see how the defense is going to approach him. Both times the defenders have been smart enough to not go head-to-head or shoulder-to-shoulder with him. Both times they've submarined him. They've gone down low to take out his legs so they can't get squared up on him.
Bo Allen at 6'3", 327, and here's the touchdown for Ryan Matthews. And a little lift from Bo Allen in the end zone.
He's excited to be in there, help get him into the end zone. So, quick little lift. He has the kick-out block there on Campbell for the Browns. And then Matthews going airborne.
And you know it's a pretty good trip to the end zone when you have a teammate catch you there.
When your tackle is not blocking anybody and is able to catch you in the end zone, that's a good thing, right?
Caleb Sturgis for the extra point. And it is good. So with 1:12 to play, the Eagles lead is now 29-10 over the Cleveland. That's long snapper John Dornbos for the Philadelphia Eagles, and we got to know him a little bit on Friday. He's a finalist in the show America's Got Talent over on NBC, and that's going to be coming up on Tuesday. But he's a magician, and he's a great musician.
This is called a pass. You actually bend a card in half like this. And Jamie, you're going to help us. We're going to put Trent's 4 right there in the center, and you can see it with the bend.
Yep.
All I need you to do is snap your fingers. And Trent, that's called a completion right there of the pass. Miss you, buddy.
Hey, I'm pulling for you, John. I know my family and I will be watching you. And more importantly, we'll be voting for you. He's been impressive on the show, and how he got that card to the top with my name on, I have no idea.
He makes your head explode. You sit there and you watch him, and he makes your head explode.
Well, and he has great stage presence while he's doing it. Great personality, and wish him good luck. As you said, Greg, the day that Ryan Matthews has had, it's deserving that he gets in the end zone. He's done a load today, 22 attempts for 77 yards. He's been getting those tough yards. He's a fine back when he can stay healthy.
So that'll come out to the 25-yard line, a minute 12, and Robert Griffin III is coming back onto the field. Apparently, he talked some people into letting him come back.
Yeah, I didn't think this was going to happen. I didn't, I honestly thought they were going to go with Josh McCown there. I didn't, at this juncture of the game, maybe he just wanted to, it's part of that leadership thing. He wants to go back in and
But if your guy is banged up, why would you let him come back?
Yeah, it'll be
Because
interesting
he wants
here.
to?
Yeah, it'll be interesting here because he was favoring that left side on the last throw that he made.
This is Crowell. And Crowell with a little running room out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. But he has been under the gun, courtesy of this Eagles defense, most of the fourth quarter.
Well, he's had to face a lot of third and longs, and a lot of the times he was also coming out of his own end zone because the Eagles were able to pin him down in there. So when you're a defensive line, defensive unit, and you know it's a pass situation, it's a literal track meet to try and get back to the quarterback, and Robert Griffin paid for it here in the fourth quarter.
On first down, going to give it to Crowell, and Crowell again inside the Philadelphia 40 to the 39, and we're under half a minute to play.
Well, and there's defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz. After being out of football last year, helping out the NFL with some officiating, was with the Bills prior to that. Head coach, obviously, for Detroit for a long time, came in with an excellent game plan to get after Robert Griffin, and the guys executed it well for him.
And one more time, Crowell, as the final seconds tick away, and that puts the cap on a Philadelphia win. The Eagles have now won 5 of their last 6 openers and 7 of their last 9. The Eagles, a winner. For Jamie Erdahl, Trent Green, and the rest of our CBS Sports crew here in Philadelphia. Thanks for joining us. Let's go to James Brown in New York.
All right, Greg.